You're about to listen to TADPOG. Tyler and Dave play old games. It's a comedy video game podcast. We would like to stress that the hosts are not experts and are really just very crass commentators. Seriously, this is an explicit podcast that happens to talk about video games sometimes. So please enjoy this pretty okay podcast with Tyler and Dave.
Hello, Internet.
Wayne's World! Wayne's World!
TADPOG! TADPOG!
Party on with Wayne Campbell and Garth Algar. Party on, Wayne.
Party on, Garth.
You pronounce your last name Algar, right?
Okay.
We're doing Wayne's World today.
We're doing Rocky and Bullwinkle.
Not too dissimilar.
That is true.
So, but the movie and the gem of a Super Nintendo game.
Yeah.
But before we get well into Wayne's World, what the hell have you guys been up to?
Fellas, it's been a week.
A good week or a bad week?
Weird week.
Weird week.
Yeah, not a
Wild
bad
stuff.
week. It's just been everything's just been a little off, a little off center, a little off from what I'm used to. And like at work, I've been, doing some stuff that I don't always do, going to client sites, and I don't normally do that, just things to we've been put under a lot of pressure at work to get as much done as we can by the end of the year that we can bill for. And
It's always a great sign.
that is a good sign. And I had to deploy a server that was on back order since like fucking August. It came in this week. And so I was, hurrying to try and get that stood up and get the physical thing on site to deploy it. And that way, once it's in their possession, there's more setup that needs to be done, but once it's in their possession, we can bill them for it. And we wanted to be able to tack as much billable revenue onto the end of the year as we can.
Uh-huh.
And in the course of doing this, I've been reminded once again how old I am, because I don't feel old, but
How do you do that?
well, it's because be super immature and like things that most 12-year-olds
I got
are
you.
into.
Okay.
Play a lot of video
Mentally.
games. Mentally, I don't.
I'm with you.
Physically, I feel like 65.
Okay, all right, cool. We are on the same page.
I'm currently, as we speak, in so much just general pain. It's not even funny. Mentally, though, I don't feel 50.
Right,
So.
yeah.
I was reminded
Stretch.
about that this week because the server that I had to deploy was for an orthodontist's office here in Paducah, obviously. And
Might be where I got my root canal.
this is an orthodont, or they do braces. They only do braces there.
Lisa needs braces.
Lisa needs a dental plan. The doctor's name was Mackenzie,
Okay.
and that just made me feel old because there are now doctors named Mackenzie. I'm waiting.
Oh, it wasn't their
Yeah.
last name.
Nope,
Their
that
first
was
name. I
that
got
was
you.
her first name,
Yeah.
Mackenzie. I'm waiting for the Haydens and the Jadens and the Bradens to start becoming doctors.
Yeah.
It just freaked me out because I called and they were like, Dr. Blah blah blah's office. I'm like, I
Dr.
need to-
Brindley Khaleesi.
I need. She looks like Khaleesi.
Dude, she might have been my neighbor because I was just about to ask what her last name was. And obviously, we're not going to say that on the show. But then I was like, well, shit, she probably got married. And but there was a Mackenzie who lived down the street from me. And when you said she looked like Khaleesi, I was like, no, okay, no.
Yeah,
Unless that's her married name.
maybe her married name because she is married. She graduated.
Did you have a maiden name and then is the officially thing your married name, maiden name, and married name, or is there another name for married name?
I think they still.
Did I have a stroke or did you? I don't know.
It's got to be your bowl.
So anyway, she's super cute, but I was like, I was doing some data entry for the client in our documentation system, and I was looking up information on their website, like address and stuff, and I saw her bio, and it said that she had graduated from St. Mary's and, you know, all this stuff. And my mother was a teacher at St. Mary's up until like 5 years before she died. And they even had her they even have her picture hanging up at the entrance of the elementary school, because she taught there for like a long time, really long time, 20 plus years.
Wow.
And so when I went to deliver the server, I was talking to the doctor, and I was just kind of giving her the skinny about the server and all this stuff that was going on. And I said, oh, by the way, I wasn't creeping on you, but I happened to see on your website that you went through St. Mary through your whole school career. And she's like, yeah, you know, from kindergarten on. And I was like, well, my mom used to teach there, and I was just curious, you know, if you knew her. And I mentioned my mom's name, and she goes, yeah, she was my 4th grade teacher. And so then I got to sit around and talk about my mom with her for 10 minutes, which was cool. It was neat. Definitely billable time. But anyway, the point I was trying to make was that, you know, there are now doctors named McKenzie.
Yeah.
And I'm just, the names are starting to, the doctors' names are starting to get younger and younger, you know, and I'm like, I don't know. It was weird. But
well, to show you that I feel about as old as you is when you said McKenzie, I absolutely 100% thought that was her last name.
Assumed it was her last name, right? Sorry. And so anyway, there was some other stuff that went on this week, if you don't mind me postulating for a bit.
Postulate.
The necklace was a big hit.
Good.
At home.
Good.
You've already
done Christmas?
We did ours together already because neither of us has any patience. And I always do the thing when the box came to the house, it was as promised, not advertising where it came from. And I knew she was going to be home when it came. So I said, when you get the box, just turn it upside down so you can't see the shipping label and set it on the table for me. And she did. She was very cool about that. But I do this every time. If I get her some gift that's like, you know, a special something that I came up with or whatever, I have no patience. I love giving gifts. And I told her when I got home, had dinner, we did all our usual stuff, our routine, and I said to her, now that package in there on the kitchen table is yours. Officially. That box belongs to you. What you choose to do with it is up to you. If you want to wait until Christmas, you can. If you want to open it immediately, you can. But I no longer have a say in it because it belongs to you. And then I let it go at that. She lasted
You don't want to hold that power?
Nah.
For just a couple days, just be like, I have this box
No.
of power.
She lasted 2 hours.
Hey, that's pretty good.
It's pretty good. She's very careful when she weighs decisions like that very carefully. And she eventually, I'm sitting in there getting ready to play Xbox, and she kind of walked in and she had it, and she said, Penny told me I should open this. Talking about my dog. And I was like, well, Penny's right. If that's how you feel, then you should definitely
You look over at
open
Penny
it.
and she's shaking her head no.
And he's like, I told her not
I
to
didn't
open.
say that.
Sorry, I don't know why about Penny.
Sorry, son of Sam.
Penny,
Did you kill that guy yet, though?
Wait till Christmas, but kill the neighbor.
Today.
Penny is a she.
Oh, okay.
Did I say something?
I thought you said he, and then I was like, oh, fuck. I don't know why I
No,
thought Penny was she.
Penny's a good
Oh,
girl.
okay.
But anyway, she opened it and was very moved by it.
Great.
So, yeah,
That's
big
great.
hit. Big hit.
I kind of had a little opposite of a thing because I got my stuff hasn't come in for Nikki yet, but you know when you were talking about the Tiffany's box arriving and that it didn't have a whole bunch of Tiffany's stuff on it, which is great. I came into the house and there was like I came in from work yesterday and there was a box on the table that said like something like tasty popcorn, and the immediate thing I thought was, oh fuck, I overspent by a lot. So I don't know. Let's see.
We'll see.
We'll see.
Let's see. What else? Sorry,
Watching
I have
anything?
notes. Oh, well, I did watch some stuff. I only got a couple things. I'm almost done with Handmaid's Tale. I need it to end. It's taken forever to get to the point. The show is suffering from the Walking Dead syndrome big time.
That sucks.
It's just taken forever. Like all the moments that are supposed to be satisfying are very satisfying. The shit in between is boring and monotonous and
The
repetitive.
commercial bloat.
It's terrible, and they so far. Now there's 5 seasons. I don't know if there's supposed to be more. I haven't bothered to look because I don't care that much. But I just started season 5, and I can already tell you that they could have wrapped this in 2, maybe 3 seasons, and it would have been perfect. But they're just dragging it on for as long as they can, and that is what it is. So anyway, I've gotten most of the way through that. And then I watched a movie called Silent Night. This is a relatively new movie. It's, if I'm not mistaken, it's still in theaters. I think the guy's name that's in it his name's Joel Ackerman, I believe. I can't remember. He's in the show that I talked about, For All Mankind. That's what I recognize him from, but I do believe he's been in several things that I've seen in the past. But he's kind of the story revolves around. It's from the makers of John Wick, and it's directed by John Woo, and it's a story about this guy who loses his son to gang violence and goes out for revenge. Very much like what's the movie, the Charles Bronson movie?
I know what you're talking about.
Bruce Willis remade it recently.
Death
Wish.
Thank you.
It's a lot like Death Wish.
Fuck.
It has a bit of a hook. I'm not going to get into what it is. I liked the movie.
Hopefully it's not the same hook as Death Wish.
No, it's not. I liked the movie, but I feel like I did have some minor bugaboos, some minor issues with it. Again, I'm not going to get into it because I'd rather people see it. 3 stars, 3.5 stars.
Okay.
Wasn't say just check it out. I liked it. It was a good time killer. I won't say that it's like the best movie I've seen in a long time. I'm not getting all pumped about it, but I did enjoy it. I thought it was fun. So
Cool.
There was that, and then so the last thing I was going to bring up is we had this year's Christmas pageant. Cohen, my grandson's Christmas pageant was this year.
Okay, I looked at you
or was
confused
this
at
past
first.
week rather.
Thought it was a work thing.
Yes, we all have to get up and sing.
I want to blow the year,
together.
so I have to be in the pageant now.
I'm a reindeer.
I had to dress up as Florida for some reason. It was misspelled and everything. But so it was at the church next door to the school where my son attends, because they let the school use the big auditorium, their big auditorium for their Christmas, because their gym that they would normally have it in is nowhere near big enough to accommodate the number of people that come. So we went to this, and I told my coworkers, I'm like, I've got a Christmas thing this morning, driving separately for my wife so that when we get finished, I can just take off and go. So it started at 9:30. I said I should be home back to work rather by 10 o'clock, 10:15 tops. Because it was going to be the kindergarten class and then the first graders, and they each did like 3 songs. It was, 10 minutes.
Yeah.
It wasn't a big deal.
Sure.
So we get in there probably about 15 minutes before it's supposed to begin. And when it begins, they introduce they say, welcome to the thing, yada, yada, yada. And then they go into this thing about how the musical director of the school, the music teacher of the school, who has been there for like 26 years, and now he is moving on to other endeavors. And he gets up to say farewell, goodbye. It's been nice knowing you. I've had some of you and some of your kids in my classes, you know, the whole spiel. He spent a good 5 minutes talking about how you need to give our teachers a break because they don't know how you discipline your children, and we have a certain way. And it was a weird thing for him to get
Something
into.
happened.
Something must have happened.
You know what grinds my gears?
And then
Again, I like to stress I'm leaving voluntarily. However, I would like to talk about this for 5 minutes.
So as he's, and of course they don't have the audio turned up loud enough. It's real echoey. I can barely
Classic.
It's droning. It's just droning, and I'm just waiting because I don't give a. I don't know.
Yeah, just
I
show
don't
the
fucking
kids
know.
doing
Just
their
bring
thing.
the
That's what
children
we're here.
out.
Yeah.
Your career choice or lack of choice, whatever, is not. I could give a fuck, and I guarantee you that 90% of the people in this room could give a fuck,
If not more.
So get on. Could we start the story now? You know. So anyway, he's getting ready. You could tell by the tone in his voice that he's getting ready to wrap it up. And he goes, okay, and yeah, okay. Is there a doctor in the
Oh,
house?
fuck.
Someone had a heart attack.
Oh, my God.
And so this is Clark. There were several doctors in the house, two of which were cardiologists.
Fighting over each other.
No, I want to be the hero. So you see people standing up and trying to make their way over. Of course, everyone is standing up like an idiot and looking over to see what's going on. I refuse to look over there.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just trying to be respectful and just kind of silently saying a prayer, if you will. Just please not today. Please not here in this place.
Not after that man just said what he said for 5 minutes.
and because there is a child back there who has a family member having a heart attack, you know, God, please, not now, kind of thing. I'm not much for prayer, but this was a moment that I was really tuned into that feeling of, I can't imagine one of those poor children losing someone.
Oh, yeah.
So then we hear them yelling for an AED.
I don't know what that
This is a defibrillator.
Okay. Know what that is from Left 4 Dead 2.
Yeah, they're like sort of the most basic types of defibrillators. You'll see them in big cities and in hospitals and stuff in like almost like first aid kits that they stay on charge, and they're always ready in case someone has a heart event. You can defib their fucking, and it's easier than, you know, to use. It's just a standard. It's a very simplified piece of technology to help keep someone alive while you wait for EMS. And so they're screaming for the AED, and then we hear the beeping, and someone yells clear, and we hear the thing kick on.
Yikes.
And then we hear the sirens from the ambulance out front. The fucking EMTs run in. No shit about... It felt like 10 minutes later. There's like some...
We wish you a Merry Christmas.
Don't snake me. There's
They
like
heard
this.
God laughing.
There's like this light applause, implying that they got this person stabilized.
You chose the right patient to have a heart attack at.
Yeah, you did. They took her out and took her away, and they did the Christmas pageant.
Yeah, of course.
Obviously.
Yeah, of course.
So
I mean, you can't. I mean, what do you do?
we found out.
In honor of Kyle's dad, we will continue the pageant.
He lived.
We found out yesterday. This made the news, the local news, and the fact that they had the person that had they did have a heart attack and they fucking died. They were dead for like 5 minutes, like clinically dead on the floor in that church for 5 minutes. But they were able to resuscitate him, and if it hadn't been for that machine, that person would have fucking died that day, right there in church. And so now it made the news, and they're talking about how now we're going to try to get more of these machines out in public places, and they're going to make like a website or something, like a map, an easy to access map that shows like where the AED machines are located in the city, so that you know if there's one nearby or whatever. But yeah, it was messed up.
That sounds harrowing.
It was weird. I was really glad that obviously that the person made it.
Yeah, that would have been a really weird pageant.
It
otherwise.
was super weird that someone fucking died in that, and then it was surreal. This goes towards my theme of weird shit happening to me this week.
Yeah.
Or me being in the presence of weird shit happening. I'm not gonna try to imply that in any way happened to me, but it was just weird to be in the presence of something like that, and then for them to be like, "Okay, everybody, let's get settled, and we're gonna go ahead and do the Christmas pageant," and then to be laughing and clapping at the kids being silly and fun. But it was weird because it gave me a feeling of, I was much more appreciative of being there and watching the kids be silly and have fun.
Sure.
And when Santa comes, they always sing. The kindergartners every year for Clark's pageants, the kindergartners always sing "Here Comes Santa Claus," or "Better Watch Out," better not, whatever. Santa Claus is coming to town, and they never tell the kindergartners, but right about towards the end of the song, a dude comes in ringing the bell, and it's Santa, and
he has a heart attack.
The kids always freak out. They always do, because they don't know. They aren't told ahead of time that he's coming. And this dude comes in, and the kids all get all fucking weird. And some of them keep singing, and some of them are like jumping, "Santa, Santa," trying to get his attention. And it was just fun to watch them. And normally I just sort of gloss over it, and I'm thinking, well, I love my grandson, and I love the fact that I want to be here for him, but this is not my jam. And this time it was more of someone fucking died here, is no longer dead. They were 56, 6 years older than me. And I was looking at it, the whole thing was a little brighter. The whole thing was a little more special to watch. And it was a strange day.
Yeah, it sounds like it was.
It sat heavy on me for a while.
And if going to a pageant was your jam, I'm not sure that we'd be friends.
I probably wouldn't belong here.
Yeah.
I'd be better off hosting a podcast of dads who cook, or soccer dads, or
or like someone the FBI is looking into.
Went to another pageant today.
I did not go there with that at all. I was totally going in a different direction.
Hey man, what do you like to do? I don't know. Go to kids
pageants.
Sweet, nice. You have a favorite?
I feed off their youth. It emboldens me.
Anyway,
I'm glad that they lived. I'm glad that you lived.
Me too. I'm really glad about that part.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a strange, fun, weird week. But
it's fucked up, man.
Here we go.
Ka.
It's Ka, baby.
Yeah, baby.
Ka like the wind. I'm done with Wizard and Glass.
Yeah.
Good.
I'm on to the Wolves of the Kala. Not very far into it. Great setup so far. Like, that's a strong setup. And it's like, okay, all right, great. This is good. I think I'm going to like this one. I read the In-Between novella, The Little
Wind
Sisters.
Through the Keyhole.
No, because that one, the reason I read The Little Sisters of Illyria, I think it is, is because I saw the publication date was between Wizard and Glass and The Wolves of the Kala. So it's like, well, and it's 2 hours. It's a chapter, and
Right.
Everything's eventual. And I was like, well, I just had my Spotify hours re-upped, as the monthly thing, and it's like I can spend 2 hours reading it, and it was good. But it happens before the Gunslinger, so it's like in between the events of like
He's got too many fingers in this one. God.
yeah. It's just that it reminded me of like why I like the series and why so far I like the Drawing of the Three the best is because like Roland by himself isn't like great. You know what I mean? It's like Roland playing off of like Eddie and Susanna and Jake.
He's the straight man.
He's not a
So,
full
like,
member
the straight
of
man by
the
himself.
quartet.
Right.
Yeah. He's just it's Jake and Eddie and Susanna and Oi that are the full quartet.
Yeah.
Ache.
I don't want to. I mean, I'm not that far in it, so I don't know if this is a spoiler or not. But fucking Oi, man, he had that vision in the Wizard in the Wizard in Glass, and it's like, okay, that doesn't sound very good. So we'll see. But yeah, I still thought the Little Sisters of Eloria was it was still good. It was a weird story, and that was nice because it was like just
It's been a minute. I'll have to reread that one.
It's like
too.
vampires, right?
yeah, but they're made of bugs.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was cool.
I'm still working on Wastelands. Gasher and his
Fucking
buddies
Gasher, god damn
have
it,
Jake.
fucking hate him so much.
I do too. I
Like-
really, I hate him, and just a fucking close second is TikTok.
TikTok.
I fucking hate him. I've forgotten
Chinese
I have
government,
forgotten how much I hate them.
I hate Gasher way more. Like
I agree.
He might be like
I
my
agree.
like
He's the
honestly like most hated Stephen King
Yeah,
character.
he's the
He
worst.
fucking sucks. He was making my stomach like tighten up. I was so like,
Yeah.
I just wanted him to fucking die.
I couldn't wait.
He could not die fast enough. With him just fucking taunting Jake
Yeah,
and
being
fucking
a fucking prick.
pedophile shit.
Yeah.
Because I think Eddie is nursing Roland back to health where I am in Drawing of the Three.
Okay.
So, but what'd you think? 1 through 10. What'd you think of Wizard and Glass?
It wasn't my favorite.
Yeah.
I liked it, but I liked I liked Cuthbert and Alain a lot, but I don't think that the interactions are nearly as entertaining as they were in other books. Like with Eddie and all of them being from different worlds, I really like those interactions. And I also really like when the worlds mesh and it's like stuff
Me
from,
too.
Like that's one of my favorite
It's probably
bits.
my favorite thing about like Wastelands when they get to Lud, and there's all this like smattering of
fly and-
stuff from
yeah.
our world.
Yeah.
Shit like that is really fucking cool.
Yeah, I like that too. That's where I like those are probably my two favorite things about the series is the interaction with the people from different worlds or times.
So I do have a quick question.
Yeah.
What do you know about dipolar computers and transitive circuits?
Nothing. Not a thing. So like, yeah, the characters from different worlds and different times interacting is my favorite part. And then just them like running across like different things from different worlds, I think is also my favorite things. I thought Wizard and Glass was good. I liked it a lot. It wasn't suspenseful.
You ready to get back to the story?
Yeah, I mean, it just wasn't suspenseful. You know, like it was a love story, and it's like that's okay.
Yeah, and I think that's why I liked it so much, because it felt different and it felt like a different flavor that I really enjoyed. And I really am about Roland. I find him to be fascinating, and I love hearing I'm like Eddie and Susanna and Jake chomping at the bit for information about Roland's upbringing and his adventures, and I want to know more.
Yeah.
Right. But I totally get how I could see how that could either be your favorite or not your favorite. You know what I mean? Like it's either gonna be your favorite book, or it's gonna be you're gonna like it, but like the other stuff better. And there's nothing wrong with that either way.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is a completely different.
I liked it. I thought it was good, but I mean, I was, there were parts where it's like, yeah, okay. I get it, and it's, and like I said, I mean, I thought it was good. I think a lot of it has to do with, I know we talked about this a little bit last episode. I kind of knew where things were going just because of like things that have been said.
Sure.
I mean, there are twists, and it definitely surprised me at the end with a few bits. Especially like after the Susan story was stuff like, holy shit, like, wow, I wish these weren't just a side story, because it's like, fuck, that's kind of like really intriguing, like the stuff when he goes back to Gilead and all that. But yeah, just kind of knowing based on what Roland has said in previous books about Susan, it's kind of like, okay.
I mean, you could piece together pretty much what had happened more or less based on just the shit he's set up to this point.
I mean, you talk about the reaping and the gunslinger, so
right, yeah,
Charyu Tree and all that. Yeah. I mean, I had a feeling that's where that was going to go.
Yeah,
pretty early on in that book.
Yeah,
but again, it's
the journey was fine.
Yeah,
the journey was fine, and I liked everything with the big coffin hunters, and I liked everything with Rhea. Fucking hate her. Holy
God,
shit.
yes.
And Cordelia, good lord, she's probably even worse.
Related to Gasher distantly.
I believe it.
I love all the shit with Marilyn's Rainbow. Fuck.
Yeah, I think that's neat.
Yeah.
I think that's really neat. Yeah. The introduction of that. And I like how that plays out, how the glass plays out. And I think that was all really neat too.
And the wiki does talk about the other orbs that aren't part of the story, like who has them and where they are and what they do.
What I thought was interesting was, because I think it's Roland mentions the other ones, because it's like, there's one for each gate, right? And but they've all been destroyed. I think he said, but 4. And he talks about where they are and who had them, and one of them was in Lud.
Which is fucked up.
I know, because they were just there.
Oh fuck, we were just there.
Yeah, so I thought that was interesting.
Well, I will tell you that post Wizard and Glass, I have almost no recollection of the broad story between the end of Wizard and Glass and the end of the series. So when I get through Wizard and Glass, it's gonna be pretty fresh for me,
dude. I'm telling you.
I do remember really, really I do remember Wolves of the Calla pretty well, and I remember really liking it.
The setup in that one was like, oh shit, this is going to be a Stephen King book.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And by that, I mean, it's like, this is going to be more like, it feels like it's going to be more like some of the horror stuff of his that I've read.
Is this Taters and Gravy? Is that
that's been mentioned by Arunt.
Okay.
Is that so?
Andy
I don't know.
and Taters and Gravy. That's okay. I'll make sure I'm
yeah.
book.
So I don't know. Like I said, I'm an hour into that. I'm in the prologue still, so I don't know where it's going to go. But the setup has been very much like, okay, all right, cool. And I could see it blending with, because all this is happening, and Andy's like, and there are strangers on the beam, So it's like, okay, I could see this. I could see like it's the setting is a horror setting, The wolves come in and take the children kind of deal, and it's like that's horrible, and like you don't know much about them. Yeah, I don't know much about him yet, but then it's also like I can see the setup where it's like, but Roland's gonna be here, and the quartet is gonna be here, and what's gonna happen? How's that gonna play out? I'm excited for it.
It's interesting to parallel that with the way that they handle the village outside of Lud.
Yeah, before they get there. With
how
like
one of the things that I really had forgotten and I really liked about it was when they leave to head into Lud, and Jake's like, we could have stuck around. And then he's like, yeah, well, Eddie's like it was if you give a mouse a cookie.
Yeah.
It was the same kind of deal. They're going to want us to do a little of this, and then what's the harm in staying another couple of days?
Right.
And they need a aqueduct fixed or some plumbing repaired, or and we could do that because it's there's time, and I like that kind of thing because they do have to sort of either.
Anything to get you off the path.
Yes, exactly. And they'll either leave in peace or they'll leave with everyone dead. Mm-hmm. And I like that there's very little gray area
with
there.
peace or in pieces. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
And I did like in Wizard in Glass, I love seeing Roland make the decision that he makes and like knowing why and how that ties into his quest. And like, I thought that was really strong. And like, it was a really long way of like cementing, how incredibly driven he is and why he is.
Yeah.
So I thought that was cool.
Awesome.
Nikki, Henry, and I went to, Carbondale this past weekend to go to Castle Perilous, which is a cool game store that they've got there. And that was great, as it always is. They've got a lot of cool stuff. Like they've got some old tabletop games and board games and new stuff too. But we stopped at, Nikki wanted to eat. I could tell she was like,
hangry.
Excited to, she was, because when I asked her the night before, I was like, hey, do you want to go to Castle Perilous and like shop and look around? She's like, yeah. And can we eat too? So it's like, okay.
No,
we cannot. It's one or the other. We're going to go to Carbondale and then we're going to either eat or go to Castle Perilous.
Keep Cheerios in a baggie and we're going to go shopping.
That's right. I'll bring my yogurt.
Pretzel bites.
Yeah. I could tell she wanted to like eat out, and because we haven't been doing that a lot, and it'll appease Henry too, who also wants to eat out constantly. But we stopped at there are like 2 Japanese restaurants in Carbondale. We went to Yamato, which is like, they have hibachi, but like we were in the car and I was like, we're not getting hibachi. I've looked at the menu. There's no way we're not going to spend $60 and
for lunch.
And I know what you're going to eat, Henry. I know you're going to want hibachi, but like you're not going to get $20 worth of that.
Yeah.
So let's all agree that we're not going to do it. And that was fine. And then when we got there, they're like, we're sorry, the hibachi's closed. And it's like, not a problem.
Turns out we had decided against it already.
There's no temptation now. They had sushi there that was really good. It was like, Nikki ordered, I can't remember what it was. Great podcasting, I know. But it's something that she had ordered at Jasmine before, and I had tried, and I'd been like, fuck no. But here it was, she was like, she ate all of it but one, and she's like, you should eat that. And I was like, I don't know. And she's like, you should try it. I was like, okay. And it was really good. So
it turns out Jasmine sucks at making this thing.
The last time we went, Nikki, I like sushi, okay? I like the rolls and stuff, but like Nikki likes sushi, and when we went to Jasmine, she's like, nah, I don't want to eat that. Yeah. And my mom was also like, I don't want to eat that. And Henry was like, I don't want to eat it. So it just sat. And I was like, I sure as fuck don't want to eat it. So yeah, it pretty much just sat there. So, I don't know.
Sam's sushi's pretty solid.
I've heard that.
Yeah.
I've heard that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I may have to try that. I don't know. I guess that's kind of it. I'm sick. If you couldn't tell. Head cold. Tested negative for COVID, as did Henry. He was in bad shape on Saturday night. He tested negative for everything. The doctor's just kind of like, I don't know. He's a kid.
Yep. And then that's what they do.
On Monday,
sick.
He was fine. Still playing Final Fantasy 14. I'm like, man, I wanted to get through Shadow. I wanted so much to come on and be like, I finished Shadowbringers and it was great. I'm like 3 quests away from the end. I just couldn't squeeze the time in. But yeah, so far it is still great. So yeah, maybe updates on that next week.
Okay.
Right on.
A lot of Hades in my life right now.
Yeah.
I don't
Still
know
on
what
the
the
80s
fuck
train?
it is. I got
Cool.
back into it, and I've been riding it hard.
That's great, man.
First, and I've been paying a little bit more attention to the story.
Yeah.
And getting really into the actual story. I was
Story's
really into
great.
the gameplay and the farming the darkness and all that stuff.
Me too.
But now I've kind of taken a I'm like getting different like weapon mods and boons and things that I wouldn't pick before because I was like pretty set in my ways about how to do it, but then I've realized that that's not the ideal way to play. There's no wrong way, but yeah, I've been experimenting and playing around with it and having a whole lot of fucking fun.
Man.
And I think I just want to kind of keep that freshness going and be like ultra prepared for Hades 2. I'm going to be fucking day one on Hades 2.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
I cannot wait. I cannot wait. I think, I don't mean to interrupt. I think it dawned on me yet again. Like I had a fresh awareness of just how goddamn good this game is. It's the detail and the intricacies and the way they developed this thing. I have yet to find a flaw in this game. And again, I was excited to play it before and I was just kind of going through and yay. But now I'm kind of seeing it more for what it really is, and it's just insanely good.
It's a fantastic
crazy.
video game.
Top 10.
Top 10. I'm like, it's possibly top 5 for me. I love it. I love it.
I'd say top 10 for me. The longer I think about it, though, probably the lower it gets. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, fantastic video game.
Yeah, held up really well. It's good to go back to. I mean, it's just been a lot of fun. So
Cool. Yeah, do we have a date or like a year on Hades 2? Has that been
I think
said?
it was supposed to come out Q2 of next year.
Holy shit.
So could be summer next year.
I'm excited about it. I'm also nervous about it. That's weird because it's not like it's my video game. or
Yeah,
anything.
quarter 2, 2024.
Cool. I'm not working on it. I'm not developing it. But still, it's like, guys, please.
Don't fuck this
Please
up.
don't fuck it up.
Don't make a
Please.
bad sequel.
Yeah. Or it's tough, man, because it's like I feel like obviously they can't make a bad sequel, but they're also like, them by doing a sequel is like, well, it has to be better than Hades, which was
It's
goddamn near
gonna
perfect.
Be, gonna be tough. It's going to be tough. I'll be all right if it's as good as Hades, just has fresh content, which I'm sure that it will. But what story, I'm anxious to know the story they're going to develop from this and how this all plays out. And
I have faith that the story will be there, and I have faith that the art direction will be there and that the voice acting will be there. I have faith in that. It's just the mechanics. I want to know. I want to know what they're doing.
we will know, hopefully. What I'm hoping for is Q2 rolls around and they're like, we need a few more months. We're pushing it back. I like it when they push a game release back because it tells me that they're not trying to rush it to production. They're trying to get it right.
We're worried this isn't going to make you horny enough.
Right.
So we want to give it an extra quarter.
We need to finish the H version.
Right, yeah.
Which would be amazing.
We have more 6-packs to add and tighter clothing that we need to straighten up on here.
Artemis.
So the girls were very excited the other day. So I watched new to Disney Plus, the new Percy Jackson.
I've been seeing the commercials for this.
Yeah.
How is it?
It was good.
Now, does this follow the movies, or is it it's like a reboot of the whole franchise?
Because the movies were fucking hot.
I heard they were bad.
Trash.
Oh, they're definitely awful.
Because I like the series.
Right.
I've read both mainline series, and I started the Norse one. Love them. Great books. Gave me great, bonding with the kids, like all around, like wonderful decision to read those books. Then they wanted me to watch the movies. Holy shit.
I only saw the first movie. And
the only good thing to come out of the movies was it was Alessandra Daddario's big break.
Okay.
We got her from these movies. Other than that, holy shit, they are fucking awful. And you could tell, like, I don't know what at the end of the second one at Sea of Monsters what they're trying to go for because they rush. I guess they know like this sucks. We're not going to get to finish this series, and they just try to sprint for the finish line and skip four books and get to the end in the second one.
It is like a panty and stocking episode.
Holy shit.
Like a model blowing up.
There's
like-
more of that coming too.
I
though.
can't wait for that, dude. I can't wait.
But yeah, they were awful. So this is a complete, and as it should be a series because there's so much information there. They shouldn't be movies.
Yeah.
So rebooting it like they have, and now it looks like they're doing it right. It's not just like kids in their mid-20s playing young teens. Like they're 12 and 13-year-old actors. Like it makes sense. And so far it was the first 2 episodes is all that's out. So, but it was good. Cool.
I'll give it a look because I've been seeing the the commercials for it a lot lately.
Yeah, they've changed enough good things because there are some differences already, but they're like, okay, that makes sense. It's not like Wheel of Time where they make complete nonsensical changes. So, yeah, other than that, that's all I've really been up to. So, you guys want to do a draft or anything, or we can open these presents?
I'll open my present.
Yeah, you can open them up whenever you want to.
Tyler, you go first.
Oh shit! Oh shit! Yeah. That is nice. That is nice.
I heard you like the Avatar.
I do like the Avatar.
Oh, sweet. Avatar tumblers.
I love it. I love it.
Good, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
My turn. I like this paper.
That's all Nikki.
I figured.
Yeah. She was really nice and like sent me a text message as I was leaving work. She was like, I wrapped those gifts for Ian and Tyler.
That's nice. Oh, shit.
It's my goal to get you the
Brother.
figures that you're probably not going to buy yourself.
Oh, I love it. It's
What is
power. It's power from Chainsaw Man. A figurine, a model of power. I
Get
love
another
it.
vibration stars.
Another vibration stars. I know exactly where this is going. Thanks, man.
Yeah, dude.
That's great.
Yeah,
I
you're
love
welcome.
this. Love me some power.
Me too.
That's awesome. I cannot wait to put that in my office.
I'd play a Chainsaw Man Hades like.
Ooh, that would be cool. They need to do that.
Well, for drafts, what I had ideas, a Kyle draft and a captain draft.
We could just take bets on how many texts you're going to get in the next 5 minutes.
think
What
it's
the
a
fuck
lot.
is going? Is everything okay?
I can tell you it's a lot, and maybe you need to look at those.
Yeah, something might be very wrong.
The table is going
Snapchat, and apparently the whole family is having a conversation on Snapchat.
That's funny.
So yeah, they'll get on streaks where they'll just sense to each other for like 30 minutes. So I'll go ahead and put that on silence.
Did you say Kyle?
Kyle
Kyle?
Kyle
Qatar?
draft. That could be one of them. Your favorite of Kyle's,
Okay, yeah,
and
sure.
then captains because we talked about like that captain. I know they
Captains are good too. I'm good with either of these.
What were your other two ideas?
then just had the whole big list of all the other drafts.
Oh, yeah. Captains works for me.
Yeah, I think I'd prefer captains too, because what's going to happen is
I'm gonna run out of Kyles real quick. I don't know a lot of Kyles.
we're going to forget a Kyle who listens, and that's going to be a big problem.
Oh
for
yeah,
me,
yeah.
because I'm going to feel bad about it. Captains? I don't know how many captains we have. who listen.
Captains. Oh, there's a lot of captains.
Shit.
When I was watching that TikTok, I was like, holy shit, there's a lot of fucking captains.
So many goddamn captains. Oh, you've got an advantage.
I do have a little bit of an advantage. True.
Goodness.
So I'll go last because I have the advantage.
Well, okay. You don't have to do that.
Yeah, just roll. We'll
I'll go. Let's go, Dave, Ian, me. Since I have the advantage.
No. I just wanted to point out to the listeners, I don't care. But
that
I want to point
Tyler
out
is
that
a
Tyler's
cheating
going in with
cheating
this.
whore.
Your words, not mine. But yeah.
But it's okay if I agree with that. I just didn't say it first.
Well, we can flip. Ian and I can flip for it.
Yeah.
I don't think I have a coin.
I don't have I haven't had a coin in my pocket for a long time.
Evens and odds.
Yeah, that sounds
Yeah.
good.
Evens.
Odd.
All right.
So it's Dave, me,
me.
Tyler, as Tyler said.
I know. Ka.
Ka is a wheel, and that wheel begins with Dave.
But also a net. I will go with Captain N.
What is Captain
one,
N?
good one.
Captain N from the Nintendo cartoon.
Oh,
Captain
yes.
N.
Okay.
I'm not like, if you were to ask me a question about the show, I wouldn't be able to answer. But however, this is a retro video game podcast, so I feel like I wanted to make sure that Captain N was mentioned.
Okay. Captain Jean-Luc Picard.
There you go. Man, you could probably just do all Star Trek characters.
I could easily do all Star Trek captains and clear 5.
I could do 3.
Then I will pick America.
Yeah.
Captain
Comma,
America.
Captain.
Fuck yeah.
Captain. Captain.
Rogers, comma, Steve. I understood that reference.
I'll go Captain Falcon.
Nice.
Captain Crunch. Captain, if you prefer.
Crunch is a good one.
Crunch.
I will say Captain Planet.
He's our hero.
Ooh. With our powers combined.
How many times do you think those kids summon him for like petty reasons? Because they're children.
Anybody want some pizza? We can't fly very fast.
Yeah, we don't have our driver's license. I know who'll get us pizza. Because that is definitely what kids would do with those. I will go with,
Is he old enough to buy us porn and beer?
I guess,
Nah, he's only like 5 technically.
but he looks like he is old enough.
Yeah, that's all that matters. He's got an ID that says McLovin from Hawaii.
I've got to go, because it's Tadpog, I have to go Captain Ron. I have to
Yep.
go Captain
Yep.
Ron.
Good one.
Just gotta.
Captain Jack Sparrow.
Yeah, there it is. I was close.
Morgan.
Yeah,
Captain
Morgan.
Morgan.
Oh. The famous barrel standing upon rum captain.
Mm-hmm. I'll go with Captain James T. Kirk.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm not a big Star Wars enjoyer.
Ass.
But yeah, I don't know. I've watched a lot of the original series, so to me, he's the captain
All right.
with his double fist punch.
It's a good. We just watched Wrath of Khan recently and loved it. We just sat and watched it just because it's just that good. Love me some Captain Kirk, man. I get it. Captain of the Millennium Falcon, Han Solo.
Yeah, okay.
Count it.
Judges? Ding.
He refers to himself as Captain of the Millennium Falcon, so that counts. And who
No arguments.
And who cares?
No arguments.
I will pick Pirate Captain Jean Lafitte.
Oh, shit.
Good pick for you. Kind of an on-brand pick for you, actually.
Yeah.
I didn't think about that.
Man, I don't want to pick Captain Kangaroo because I don't really have any kind of attachment to Captain Kangaroo, but I can't think of any other captains right now because I'm on the spot and not,
Yeah, that's what happens to me every week.
So yeah, Captain Kangaroo.
Cool.
Yeah, I guess.
He's a good dude. He was a good
Good.
dude.
I'm glad to hear that.
I do have some connection
Okay.
to the show, so
Just a little.
That's a good pick.
Nothing against him. He
No.
was just a little before my time. I never watched. any Captain
wholesome,
Kangaroo, so-
good show.
Good. I'm glad to hear that.
He was like Mr. Rogers kind of thing.
Okay,
It was-
okay,
it
good.
was good kids TV back in the day.
Mr. Rogers is
Safe. Captain Rogers.
Captain Rogers.
Captain Mr. Rogers.
Doctor.
Captain Dr. Mr. Rogers.
I didn't like watching Mr. Rogers a whole bunch as a kid. I remember, but
Not
like,
me. I didn't either.
but as I
really.
get older, like the nostalgia for
Yeah.
Mr. Rogers
It's
is like
good.
greater than
It is. It's greater than
Yeah.
how I enjoyed it as a child.
Right.
Watching Captain Rogers when I was a little kid reminded me of like it always felt like I was watching my grandfather, like going to his house, going to my mom's dad's house. He looked like Mr. Rogers, and he wore cardigans all the time, and it was very, very, decent.
Yeah.
And it just, I don't know, I always associated him with seeing Papa Bob, so it was weird.
I want to watch that documentary about Captain Rogers, but I don't want to cry, so I haven't watched it.
Yeah, he was like a good dude, like for real, the last truly good person from that era. I mean, from really any era, honestly. But I have watched it, and you will cry.
Well, the trailer itself, I mean, it doesn't say it outright, but it's pretty much like, we're gonna make you cry. You're gonna treat this like some Japanese viewers treat anime. You can just watch it and let emotions come out.
Right. This is what we use it for. Am I up? My turn. Is this number 5?
Yep.
I'm kind of drawing some Captain blanks as well. So the only thing I can get in my head right now is Captain Stubing of the Love Boat.
Oh shit. That's also a little.
Hi,
little
Captain
bit.
Stubing. Permission to
Hi,
come aboard,
everybody.
sir. It was Ace Ventura.
Fuck.
He walks into the part. He goes to that party, and the butler, the guy answers the door, and he's a bald guy that's wearing like a kind of a tux, but he looks. I laughed so hard the first time I watched this movie, just constantly through the Ace Ventura movie, the first one, because he says, "Hi, Captain Stubing, permission to come aboard, sir." And I think that joke will be lost on anyone today, but I thought it was hilarious.
I probably laughed at it, but I definitely didn't get it. And I haven't
The
seen Ace
cliffhanger
Ventura.
joke was lost on me. It's like,
I'm trying to think the last time I've watched Ace Ventura. I probably need to rewatch it. Unfortunately, I don't think there's a Super.
Is there
Nintendo
not a
game.
Super NES game associated with it?
There has to be.
there has to be.
And Ace
something.
Ventura game. It's probably just not on the Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do some quick research.
Okay. Tyler, your last pick?
That would be Knight Captain of the Red Wings, Cecil Harvey.
Okay.
Of Final Fantasy IV fame.
It's good.
That was a solid draft, gentlemen.
I had honorable mentions as Mal from Firefly.
Captain Caveman.
Captain Caveman's a good one. Captain and Tennille. Linebeck from Phantom Hourglass and the Zelda game. Of course, there's all the other Star Trek captains I don't know anything about.
Captain Janeway. Captain
Pike.
Captain Archer. Captain Cisco.
There's still like Barbossa and Davy Jones from
Captain Haddock from Tintin.
Of course. How do we forget that?
There's a CD-ROM Ace Ventura video game.
Eh.
shit.
No, I'd rather have a 16-bit.
Yeah. I don't know, man. It was an adventure game.
Really?
Captain Hook.
Fuck.
Jesus. How do we miss Captain Hook? I still make Julia Roberts jokes because of the trivia
Last
I read
episode,
about
you did.
her on that movie.
Captain of the Planet Express, Taranga Leela.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. That's true. But I just think of her as Leela.
Yeah.
Captain Nemo. Otherwise, we've kind of hit on most everybody else.
Take that to the bank.
I'd buy that for $1.
I wish I could start
Captain
naming
Ahab.
police captains from all the movies that we've recently watched, like the police
Oh,
captain
God,
from
yes.
Last Action Hero and from RoboCop, and
Damn.
Captain Jonas Grumby, a.k.a. the Skipper from Gilligan's Island.
Yes. I don't know why I knew that I recognized the name, and then when you said what it was, it's something I'd heard before that was his name. Grumby.
not to be confused with Gumby.
Gilligan. Gilligan's last name is actually Gumby. Gilligan Gumby and Jonas
New
Grumby.
Steam name.
Which one? Jonas Grumby?
Oh, gotta be Gilligan Gumby.
Gilligan Gumby.
Captain Quint from Jaws.
Okay, yeah. Doll's eyes.
Captain Quill.
Yeah.
Star-Lord from Guardians of the Galaxy.
Right, yeah.
Captain, what's his name? It's just the captain from The Simpsons.
Arr. I always think about the all-you-can-eat seafood buffet. It was his thing, and then Homer shows up.
Uh-huh.
All right, we'll take a break and then slide into some Wayne's World talk.
Here we go.
Sounds good to me.
Listen, we need to have a talk about Vanderhoff. The fact is, he's the sponsor. And you signed a contract guaranteeing him certain concessions, one of them being a spot on the show.
Well, that's where I see things just a little differently. Contract or no, I will not bow to any sponsor.
I'm sorry you feel that way, but basically it's the nature of the beast.
Maybe I'm wrong on this one, but for me, the beast doesn't include selling out. Garth, you know what I'm talking about, right?
It's like people only do things because they get paid. And that's just really sad.
I can't talk about it anymore. It's giving me a headache.
Here, take 2 of these.
Ah, new print. Little, yellow, different.
Look, you can stay here in the big leagues and play by the rules, or you can go back to the farm club in Aurora. It's your choice.
Yes, and it's the choice of a new generation.
And now time for the game talk and the movie talk.
Game talk, party time.
So I saw this movie before I even knew it was an SNL skit or had seen the SNL skit.
I believe that
Girl,
was
same.
probably the case for a lot of people. I knew it was because I was almost 20 and had been, able to stay up that late on a Saturday night.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think I was 11 when this movie came out.
But I knew about Wayne's World, and I always loved it. But nothing. I loved the movie because it was so brand accurate to Wayne's World, the skit.
Yeah.
They had already been doing it for months before the movie came out, and it was a good experience. Mike Myers is the fucking man.
Yeah.
I love him.
I heard some stories about him on set where he was very difficult to work with. And I've heard that before, like on other movies too. But the director was talking about how he had a meltdown because they didn't have margarine for his bagels.
I could see him being a pain in the ass.
Yeah, same.
I love his brand and I love his humor,
Yeah.
and I love the things that he does.
Yeah.
I've very rarely seen anything that I didn't respect. At the very least, respect. But most of his stuff I like. But I could definitely see him being a bit of a pill.
little diva. Yeah.
Well, I don't
Yeah.
think he and Dana Carvey have anything to do with each other anymore because Dana Carvey said, "Oh yeah, he stole Dr. Evil from me."
Right.
So
Oh,
Yeah,
is that
I know
right?
there's bad
didn't
blood
know
between
that.
them. Yeah.
What's
we'll never see a Wayne's World 3.
And I'm okay with that.
we didn't need Wayne's World 2.
I liked Wayne's World
I liked
too,
it fine, but we
yeah.
didn't need it.
Yeah. If they were to do one now, it would be, I don't know how you
It would
approach
be
it.
pandering. Honest to God, it would be just pandering to that trend of
Right.
bringing things back that maybe sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not.
Yeah.
I feel like this would be a not.
Well, I mean, I haven't seen the new Bill and Ted, but I hear it's good.
It is good. That's
So-
one that was a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
It was worth it.
I thought, man, when I saw this,
Dave Grohl's in it.
Nice.
there we go.
Well, I think Keanu Reeves being like as hot as he was when Bill and Ted 3 came out, like that went a long way. Because right now it's kind of like Mike Myers and Dana Carvey aren't like, on the tips of the tongues of the general
literally
public
everyone.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, that's the voice of Shrek. Really?
Oh.
All right.
Donkey, get out of my swamp. Yeah. The meme guy, the green meme guy.
the Snapchat filter where you like kiss, where Shrek kisses
He's
you.
behind
Yeah.
you, butt fucking you. That Shrek. Have you seen that one? Is that the one you're talking about?
I've seen I know the one where he's like making out with you and people were doing stuff with. But I just didn't know there was
There's another one where he's like over your shoulder with like his hands on you.
But God, the crush I had on Tia Carrere when this
Dude,
came out.
Yeah.
Listen,
Oh.
I watched this movie again today, and I had hesitated to rewatch it simply because I've seen it so many times. I
Yeah.
didn't think I needed to rewatch it, and I'm actually really glad
Me
that
too.
I did.
Yeah, same.
And
I rewatched it as well.
dude, Tia Carrere is hot as fuck, and I think when I first saw this movie, I got
Schwing.
a little.
Right? Am I
I did, yeah.
Screen clear.
Take that, clarinets.
Fuck you, bagpipes. Got you. That's coming.
I like how we all made references to the first level.
Oh, there's more than one level in this video game? Whoa.
I watched.
Weird.
I watched the long play, or most of the long play.
I skimmed through it to
Yeah.
confirm that there is more than one level.
Correct. Same. Girl, same. But the only thing that, so the thing that bothered me about Tia Carrere in this movie originally was that she's the singer of this band, Critical Threat. And she's really singing. Crucial Threat. She's really singing all those songs, and she's got a great voice.
Right?
I mean,
Crazy.
that's awesome. It's a little cringe because she's
Rita Repulsa.
she doesn't. Yeah, exactly.
Like when she's waking up.
Well, and the way she like sort of presents herself is more of a K-pop idol than a metal band front woman.
Well, I thought Ballroom Blitz was from this movie.
Did you really? Well, the only thing that I could not get past back in the day was how bad she is at faking playing the bass. And I'm like, we don't need her to play bass. Give him a bass player and let her just sing, because she is a good singer.
Yeah,
and I thought she did a fantastic job.
They knew better than to give her a guitar, I
but
guess.
I would have rather they gave her a
Really?
guitar,
Would it
because
have been less obvious?
it would have been less
Oh, okay,
obvious.
okay.
She's clearly not playing.
Yeah.
And I mean, I knew the rest of the guys in the band, especially the drummer, you could tell were either actually playing or playing along accurately, and she was just sort of, you've heard a bass line in a song, and you can imagine that when you pluck the strings of a bass, that's when you would, when you hear the notes.
Yeah.
And usually, most of the songs, the bass line goes bum 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 bum. You don't have to be good at bass to do that much. And she wasn't even doing that. She would be like, her fingers would literally be resting on the strings.
I didn't even notice, man.
And I'm a bass player.
Yeah.
So I naturally gravitate towards whoever's
No, I think
playing
it's
bass.
great.
And it bugged the shit out of me.
Yeah,
And I got
I bet
so
you would.
triggered by this. I was able to put that aside today when I was watching, and first and foremost realized that, not only did she do a really excellent job singing, they credited her as the performer of the songs in the credits of the movie, like I said, performed by Tia Carrere. So they wanted to make sure that you knew, if you couldn't tell, I mean, you can tell that it was her.
Yeah, but
to
it's nice
have that as
credited,
the crediting, I thought was great. But when she is not done up in her over too much makeup and her weird outfits and stuff, she is straight up gorgeous.
Well, that
I
scene-
was there day one to get that Playboy whenever she finally,
Dude, I didn't know.
many years later,
didn't know
posted
she did
Playboy.
That scene with the very bad ending of the movie where she and
the
Rob
bikini.
Lowe are like poolside and she's in the
my
swimsuit.
Lord.
That was the best night of my life.
Yeah.
I had a moment. I was just like,
You were incredible.
damn, Tia.
Right. Yeah.
Tia be
Yeah,
Rocking.
there are
Rocking
9,
it.
10-year-old scrawlings where I'm like Tyler plus Tia.
Would you have changed your last name Or would you have wanted her
Probably.
to? Yeah, I would too.
Tyler Carrera makes sense.
I'd have to make sure I'm pronouncing it correctly first. But
I believe it is Carrera.
Carrera.
that's what I thought.
I think
too.
it is. Yes.
So you talking about the instruments and noticing her not actually playing the bass. I have a question for you. When Garth plays the drums,
That's
in the
him.
music, that looked like him.
So Dana Carvey had a bit had been doing that. But it's and I knew this was really him because it's the same. He has one
that's his beat.
he can do that, and I'm sure he can do other stuff. But
Right.
that's what he all starts out with the doom doom. You know, the thing that he plays in Wayne's World is sort of
The
his
same.
bit that he's been doing forever. And if he were to if someone were to say, "Hey, can you sit down and play us something on the drums?" that would be what he would play. It's kind of his go-to,
Yeah.
from what I understand. But yes, that was him
I like to play.
doing that. I like to play.
Cool. Yeah, it looked like him. And it reminded me of you talking about the bass also reminded me. Have you seen those YouTube videos where it's like what they actually played?
No,
They're really great. Like
Oh,
there's
I'll have to check that
a
out.
channel that does drums specifically.
Uh-huh.
And it's like it's a lot of it's from like animation and it's like what they actually played. And they show what it looks and sounded like in the original animation, and then the guy overdubs what it actually is.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's always entertaining.
I definitely will check that out. So yeah, I was pleasantly surprised by how frequently this movie, this 21-year-old, how old is this 31-year-old movie?
Came out in 92.
Yeah, made me laugh.
Yeah.
There was some, and I probably laughed at different stuff now than I did maybe the first time I saw it.
I definitely did.
And I think that speaks volumes to that rare gem of a Saturday Night Live based movie that kind of hits in the right way at different times and different times in your life. There was a lot of good, subtle adult humor in there, and then plenty of obviously the potty humor kind of stuff, which is fine. That was funny too. It was silly, and thinking how it's like that movie might be the most 90s movie ever. I think I think it probably set a lot of the standard for the way the 90s pop culture kind of was. More so as not so much as a commentary on 90s culture, but like as a forerunner of 90s culture,
Like setting the style for, like,
and
a lot of comedy
how
movies.
many years in a row, how long did we use Not and Schwing, and
we still are.
Right. I mean, those things are still, and they're more nostalgic references now,
Right.
but they still get a laugh.
They're ingrained.
And it's the kind of thing that blows my mind.
That's what she said. I mean,
Exactly.
I know The Office is like,
Right.
that's Michael Scott. That he definitely usurped that, but
it's still part of the mainstream. It's still something we say because it just comes as naturally to me to say that as it came to Michael Scott, to the point, not to maybe the point where I've got to be like trying not to say
time.
it. No time. But yeah, it's funny how they still kind of got me. And like I said, Mike Myers has my number. I love his work. I think he's really funny. I like his brand of comedy. I love the Austin Powers movies, even though they don't hold up as well today.
I haven't watched them recently.
I
Plenty of
haven't-
video games. We could do Austin Powers.
We could do that. I
Plenty
would
web
like
browsers.
I would like to rewatch Austin Powers. Those were funny movies, though. And So I Married an Axe Murderer.
Yes,
And then-
that's great.
It's
Underrated. Extremely underrated.
I don't know. I recently rewatched that one on a goof and found myself liking it more now than I did then. I loved it then because of the Mike Myers stuff. But I started having a little bit more respect for the supporting cast in that movie than I did the first time around. But yeah, that was his and Shrek and all the stuff that he did he has consistently been able to make me
Inglourious Basterds.
laugh. Loved him in Inglourious Bastards. He was in Inglourious Bastards for 10 minutes tops.
Yeah.
And it was great.
Yeah.
He was in Bohemian Rhapsody.
Which Freddie Mercury did get to see that.
So
Did he?
That's,
He saw it. He saw a promotional trailer 6 months before he died, so he did get to see that scene and
That
fucking
is
loved it.
amazing.
But that's been reputed because it's like the
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Damn.
because a bandmate had said that, but then the director of the movie has been like, "There's no way that he saw a tape of the film." Like, she's like, "There's no way." So I don't know. I like to think that it's true.
Listen,
but-
I'm gonna hope to believe
Strike
that.
for the record. We hope to believe.
yeah, but I was also saddened to read that because I'd always heard that too.
Yeah.
Well, and I wanted to, of course, I've got several bits of trivia about this.
I do too. We
movie.
might have the same ones.
And I did want to mention, especially considering that
Criminally young Ed O'Neill.
What?
Criminally young Ed O'Neill.
Yes. Why is it that when you kill a man in a war, it's heroic?
Why do they come to me to die? Why do they come to me to die?
But when you kill another man in the heat of passion, it's a crime.
That's the second level of Blaine's World, the video game. The
Yeah.
donut, shop.
Yeah.
The third level is the gas works.
And that's the video
That's
game.
the game. But we're going to get into the video game more in a bit because I have quite a bit to say about that as well.
Okay.
But regarding Bohemian Rhapsody, and as we all know, the iconic scene that opens the movie, which is when they're riding in their blue gremlin and they're listening to Bohemian Rhapsody, and the headbang to the hard part. And I mean, okay, so what's really fun about that is the first thing I always go to when I think about that is how they do this in Wayne's World, and then flash forward 30 years, and then the movie Bohemian Rhapsody comes out, which is the biopic about Freddie Mercury and his life. And Mike Myers is playing the record executive who is talking about how bad the song is and how there's no way he wants to put it on the album. What is, Bismillah and all these fucking words that don't make any fucking sense. And then Queen tells him to go fuck himself, and it turns out to be a huge hit. The problem is that it's 7 minutes long, 7.5 minutes long, and that was unheard of back then. And I love that they got Mike Myers to be the guy because it is because of this. Originally, when they did this scene, the rights to the song, to use this song in this movie, were so expensive that Lorne Michaels was trying to say, you can't do it. We're not going to get it. And they were going to use Welcome to the Jungle instead of Bohemian Rhapsody. And Mike Myers was so insistent on getting this song for this movie that he threatened to quit if they didn't get it. So they obviously got it, and it ended up making the song be hit higher on the charts in the United States.
Brought it from Gen X to the millennials.
Well, it hit higher on the charts in the United States than it did when it debuted back in the late 70s.
It's the first time. That's the only reason I'd ever heard it.
So that's true for a lot of people. That's the first song I ever heard that really got me clued into. That's how I started liking music, like understanding what it could be. I remember it vividly. I was in the back seat of the car. It was like 1976 or whatever year it came out when it was being played finally on the radio, and my parents were listening to the radio and it came on, and I was fascinated by this song. And then to have it come back in Wayne's World and then become so much more well known by such a broader audience, it was really neat that this movie had that effect on something like that.
Yeah.
That Queen was already Queen, but they became that much more popular because of Mike Myers insisting that we have this in the movie and putting effectively his career on the line over it. And I thought that was a really neat piece of trivia. I really liked it.
Do you know their car is 2.5 hours away from us?
Is that right?
The AMC Pacer, the Mirthmobile, is in Jackson.
Aurora, Illinois.
That's a little bit farther, but still not that. I mean, that's
relative.
drivable.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's in Jackson, Tennessee.
Really?
Yeah, at a museum called, it's like Roy's, it's Rusty's TV and Movie Car Museum.
I bet he's one of the ones that has one of the DeLoreans.
I know when I went to his site to confirm like that it was there, and I was supposed to be doing some other stuff probably, so I didn't spend a lot of time on it.
I get it.
But I did see Ecto 1. I don't know if it was the original Ecto 1 or if it
man.
was they had a turtle wagon as well. But it looked like it was like the toy version done as like a real vehicle.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so I think we should go. Is what
We
I'm trying
should
to say.
fucking go. Get our
we've all
picture
got
made
some
with
time
the
off, right?
Let's drive to Jackson. I know a good Rafferty's down there.
Fuck yes. Fuck yeah.
That's where
man.
the like first one is. Or
This
something.
trip just writes itself.
It does. It really does. Rafferty's, then the Rusty's TV and movie car.
I think we need to go to the
museum.
museum first, based on Tyler's dry heaving.
Probably. Tyler, you want to drive
Otherwise, you'll have to
separate
get a
so
small cup for me to spew in.
if you're gonna spew
Probably
in
still my
this.
favorite joke from that movie.
It's a good joke. It's like there's levels to that joke.
There
the funniest
is.
level being, why does he have that tiny ass
Yes.
cup in his pocket?
And then what makes you think that the guy throwing up in this is that this is going to be anywhere near enough to, yeah, it's fucking great. Let's see. One of the things I caught, these are things that I sort of caught, and I've confirmed with a couple of other sources like on the movie trivia and stuff, but one of the things I noticed was this was possibly the first recorded instance of Rob Lowe using the word literally like he does in Parks and Rec.
I didn't notice that.
At one point, he's having dinner with, I can't remember if it's the scene where he's having dinner with Tia Carrera or if it's when he's I think it might be when he's at the restaurant with Wayne and Garth telling him he wants to sponsor their show. But he does. He says literally, just like he's known for, literally. And I think that was the first time that was ever actually recorded. And then in Parks and Rec, as we all know, he says it all the fucking time. And that's kind of became a catchphrase for him. So I think I'm beginning to think that maybe that is literally part of his personality. Like, I think he probably has been doing that forever. They just leaned into it in the Parks and Rec.
Man, the older I get, apparently, the more I'm like, Benjamin's not really that bad of a guy.
No, he's really
Because, like,
not. He's
as
just,
a kid, I was like, he's trying to steal Wade's girlfriend. And it's like, no, he's not.
He really
like,
isn't.
Objectively, he's not. Like,
I mean, he's clearly good. They show the books in his house.
Yeah.
How to pick up women and all the condoms and stuff. But it's like, that doesn't necessarily mean anything.
Right.
And God, I had such a modern day mentality watching this. I'm
Me
like,
too.
I'm like, Wayne, why do you not have enough faith in your girlfriend that she's not going to cheat on you with him?
He's a dick. Wayne is a dick.
Wayne is kind of a dick.
Because like he goes and picks a fight with her.
does.
Out of the blue. And she's like
maybe
totally,
he's poking you.
right. It's like what?
She's like, I was like that
Could
too.
you be any more rude? Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, whoa. I think in that moment we kind of saw
Mike Myers.
Mike Myers. Like what he's kind of capable of in real life. Because that look on his face when he goes, yeah, like I can be more rude. I was like, that dude's being serious. And that's real acting right there. Because I think he's channeling something.
Yeah, I'd never.
Well, why don't you take your show and you just...
I'd never like in my life because I haven't seen Wayne's World probably since I
Because
was
Wayne's the hero.
a teen.
Yeah.
And it's like, but watching it like in my early 40s, I'm like, holy shit, man, you're a dick.
He's Scott Pilgrim.
He's a Scott Pilgrim. Exactly. He is Scott Pilgrim. He's insecure.
And the movie tries to
And
show you that when
they
like the camera pans away from him.
much
And
try
it's like,
to
hey,
show.
no.
Yeah, they very much do. And
I never picked
the
up on
fact that the whole movie is a continuous fourth wall break is really funny. I love that.
I asked Mom to buy Nuprin. for my
Little
headache.
yellow, different.
I'd
That
never heard of it
scene
before
is
that.
to me that's the funniest scene.
That
in the
whole
movie.
like, yeah,
God, we're not gonna kowtow to any sponsor. He takes a Dorito.
fucking Pizza Hut box.
Garth in all Reebok gear.
It's a choice, and it's the choice of a new generation. God, that shit makes me fucking laugh every time I see it.
And that's standalone funny. You know what I mean?
It really is. I've seen it as a clip on YouTube, and it's just as funny by itself because you don't need context to understand what it means. Yeah, it's fucking great. The other thing I was going to say that was kind of just an observation I had, it kind of goes in it's a shame that Stacy is crazy because she's hot as fuck. Stacy was just cute as a
I always
button.
thought Laura Flynn Boyle in this movie was
Yes.
cute. Like,
oh my gosh.
why are you so mean?
And the way she
Wayne?
giggles like all the time, and she's okay. Granted, she's stalkery
She's pretty,
and obsessed,
but she has low
she's
self-esteem.
she's just, you know, she really loved Wayne, and he broke her heart, and he knives chowder. You know what I mean? And I just like, man, that's a shame because she's sweet and
I mean,
cute.
why did she buy him a gun rack though?
The gun rack thing was funny. He's
Doesn't
like,
own a
I don't own a
gun.
gun. but he's a dick to her. And then
He's kind of a dick to Garth
he's
too.
kind of a dick to everybody.
Yep.
Really, he is.
All things I did not pick
Nope.
up on as a teen. Like
Not at
none
all.
of this I picked up on.
Didn't know Zach Morris was trash.
Uh-huh.
Didn't know Wayne is trash.
And they all, you know, he comes around and he does the right thing, and I kind of.
Because like
They sort of leave you hanging because there's multiple endings.
right,
And
yeah.
obviously, we know which one is the. I think this sort of the real ending is sort of a mashup of all three.
It's the Scooby-Doo ending,
It's the
hasn't it?
Scooby-Doo ending.
What I love about
God, I would have gotten away with it too if it hadn't been for you nosy kids.
What I love about the very bad ending is the fact that Mr. Big would take the time to drive all the way to the
To
house
say
to
no.
say no, thank you.
It's not the right time.
Right?
I really
You ruined
want
my
to just
career, Campbell.
the house is burning. I think this might have also been the origin of that. This is fine. Because at that moment, you
Shit.
see Wayne sort of just standing there looking at the fire burning around him, and he's not doing anything. It's like, and that's what exactly the words that came to mind is like, this is fine. Some more trivia that I found. Alice Cooper,
Oh God.
he was
Mealy Wakay is
He's-
a core fucking memory.
yes, it is. He was very natural. You know, a lot of times when you have guest stars playing themselves, like I can't help but think of like NASCAR drivers or something that make, you know, cameos in some fucking movie or whatever, or even in Ricky Bobby and Talladega Nights. You know, they always seem so fake and stiff and not, this doesn't come naturally. And I get it, but it's like, just be yourself. That's what we're here for. Alice Cooper really leaned into it and got it. He got it right. And but it says here that Alice Cooper came to the set under the impression that he would be performing musically for the film with one line. Upon arrival, he was surprised to be handed an entire monologue to memorize and shoot with a small amount of time to do so. However, Cooper is known to be a history buff outside of his music career, so this thing sort of came a little bit naturally. Another piece of trivia, I didn't catch this before. Dana Carvey did his own drum playing for the music shop scene. That's confirmation on that. This was a good one. When Wayne and Garth are on the hood of the car watching the airplanes fly over, Garth asks Wayne if he ever thought Bugs Bunny was attractive in women's clothing.
That's one of the funniest jokes, I think, in the movie.
Oh, it really is. And he goes, the comment was an ad lib by Dana Carvey made while waiting for an incoming plane to finally come on scene. So that was all ad libbed. Mike Myers was laughing at something else that Dana Carvey had said at another time during the same scene, and the director decided to edit Mike's laugh after the Bugs Bunny joke because it looked better than a fake laugh. So when you see Mike Myers laughing at that, and you can tell by looking that he's genuinely laughing. I thought that was
Smart
really
move.
interesting. According to Dana Carvey, the robot that Garth is working on is being built to kill Benjamin, Rob Lowe. And this is why the arm reaches for him when the two men discuss the changes for the show. This is one of two references to the Terminator franchise. The other being when Wayne is pulled over by Robert Patrick, the T-1000, who chases him.
Which is weird. I feel like
that movie came out in the same year as Terminator 2, and that's quick.
But between this and Last Action Hero and us doing Terminator 2, like, I mean,
there's your tie-in.
I've seen a lot of Robert Patrick recently.
Yes, we have. But there's your tie-in, yeah. During the Terminator 2 Judgment Day parody scene, 91 is when Terminator 2 came out, not 92. That has Robert Patrick reprising his role as the T-1000. The song Time Machine can be heard in the background. This is by Black Sabbath. The song comes from the 1992 Black Sabbath album Dehumanizer, which featured a painted image of a Terminator endoskeleton disguised in a Grim Reaper costume. There's another reference to the Terminator franchise with Garth building a robot, blah, blah, blah. The first ending in the film in which Wayne's house is set on fire and Wayne carries Garth in his arms is called the apocalyptic ending. The unhappy ending, Scooby-Doo ending, and the mega happy ending mocks alternate endings in movies. The alternate endings in those movies would be shown to a test audience, and those endings would be changed and refilmed due to a negative response from the audience if they didn't like those endings. On most DVDs, the alternate endings are there. So it's kind of a parody on that. It's like instead of just tell your story, fuck them if they don't like it. That's why they did that. And then at the beginning, last one I have here is at the beginning of the movie, Wayne calms down Garth after having the suck cut demonstrated on him by telling Garth that he is in a forest with Heather Locklear. This foreshadows Wayne and Garth meeting Heather Locklear at the Aerosmith concert in the sequel. So there you have it.
I
That's
got to
my
hear
trivia today.
the first 4 notes of Stairway to Heaven for the first time because I didn't see this movie in the theater, and in the home release they didn't want to pay the rights.
Oh,
So
really?
the 4
I never
notes are not
noticed
the
that.
first 4 notes of Stairway to Heaven, and it stood out to me because like he starts.
Well, I heard it
and it's like,
today, and you're right. I didn't even realize that, but yeah, I didn't know.
on the 4K release,
Nice.
they put it in there.
Okay.
So, yeah. I was like, all right, okay. Well,
I know that.
That's $15 well spent. Patreon.com/TADPOG.
Got these Wayne's World fucking bills to the roof.
No shit. I mean, I could have rented it, but I was like,
It was on HBO Max. That's what I watched it on.
so I saw that and I was like, fuck, all right, I'm just going to subscribe to HBO Max. And I was like, no, don't do that. Don't do that.
Righteous Gemstones makes it worth it.
Don't do that. Just buy the movie. Like, I don't know. And then I was like, okay, I plan on canceling Paramount Plus, so I'll cancel that and I'll get HBO Max. And I go to cancel Paramount Plus, and it's like, no, don't go, please. 2 months for free. And it's like,
Fine.
fuck, fine. I know your deal. I'm gonna forget in 2 months.
You're gonna get at least one more month of my $9.99.
So yeah. So that's honestly what those factors
I
stopped
get
me
it.
from subscribing.
Well, now you've got it forever.
That's true.
You
The
bought it,
movie,
right? You said, yeah, not Paramount Plus.
Yeah, that's what I was
the
confused
movie.
about. I
You've
was
got.
like, oh no,
You've got.
I misunderstood the arrangement.
When you say no, yeah.
By agreeing to these terms of service, you agree that you have to
Shit.
have it
Is this a
forever
CD
at
club?
full price. Yes.
So this is Wayne's World is it's a second movie based on an SNL sketch, and I was curious. I can't play because I've got the fucking answers. I wouldn't do very well anyway. I wouldn't be of any help. But I'm curious if you guys can name all 11 of the films based on Saturday Night Live skits.
So I know
It's Pat.
It's Pat.
It's Pat. Night at the Roxbury.
A Night at the Roxbury. Yes.
The one about
Coneheads.
Mary
yes.
Catherine
We come from
Gallagher.
France.
What's that one called?
Superstar.
Superstar. Yes. You guys are doing great.
Is Tommy Boy
The Ladies' Man.
The Ladies' Man.
Oh, there you go.
Yes.
Oh, fuck! I had another one. Shit.
Can I give hints? Are you okay with
Yeah.
that? Are you ready for them?
I'll get it with hints.
One came out way before Wayne's World.
Way before Wayne's World. So let's think of earlier famous SNL sketches.
Blues Brothers.
Blues Brothers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Now I'm drawing blanks.
We're gonna assume Wayne's World and Wayne's World 2. Those have been mentioned earlier. So.
Oh, I
okay.
wasn't thinking of those as two
Wayne's World,
separate,
Wayne's
but
World.
yes, of
yeah,
course.
but those have been mentioned. Totally
Right.
got those. So you're missing 4.
Give me a hint on one of them, if you can.
Ooh, see, this is where
I know
it's
I've seen them all.
this is where it's like I wouldn't be able to help you. One of these is a sequel. That one I can definitely help with.
A sequel to one of the other ones we've already named.
Yes, sir.
Coneheads 2.
No, I wish.
I wish there was
Oh man,
I was like,
Might
did
eat that up.
they make a Coneheads 2?
They narfled the Garthog again a second time.
Garthox, pre-narfled.
All right, what's the sequel?
Blues Brothers 2000.
Oh yes,
I would never have got that.
I forgot that they did that.
That's an
yes.
N64 game, though.
Blues Brothers. There's a Super Nintendo Blues Brothers game.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Next episode.
Next episode.
All right.
Okay.
Have you guys ever seen the Blues Brothers?
Nope.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
I've not.
It's a good movie.
So there's 3 more, and unfortunately, I can't help. I don't know them well enough to even give you a hint.
All right.
Can you tell us what
can you
era of SNL?
Two of these are like recent-ish to me as a 40-year-old man. So I mean,
Right.
that means
Can you give me one of the people in the movie?
if I look it up, maybe I
Oh,
could.
okay. Well,
I got it. I'm on it. I came prepared, but not like,
really
that prepared.
Okay.
Yes.
There was no cheerleaders movie. It was bandied about, but didn't happen.
Will Forte.
I mean, there's MacGruber.
MacGruber.
Oh,
Correct.
yes.
All right. Let me see if I can help you out with another one.
Fortunately, there's no Toonses movie.
Oh, my God.
God, I would love that.
Or
I'm,
Frozen Caveman Lawyer.
I'm still down with the Toonses movie. Or at least for what to be what Dave said as to that Toonses should just be the person, the one driving the car in all movies.
Al Franken.
Oh, is that the Stuart Smalley?
It is.
Oh, God, I fucking
I
forgot.
can't
there was a
remember the
Stuart
name.
Smalley
I
I've
can't
movie.
forgotten
remember.
it. I'd never seen it before.
I don't
seeing
remember the
trailer.
name of the movie.
It is Stuart Saves His Family.
There we go. Okay.
Shit. Yeah, I would never.
good enough.
Would never have gotten
I'm
that
smart
one.
enough, and doggone it, people like
like
me.
And then there's only one left, and it is the most recent one. It came out this year,
Okay.
apparently.
Shit. What is a huge recent reoccurring that they turned to a movie?
I know I've
Shit.
whatever it is. I know I've seen it, and I feel like I should know this.
I feel like I know so little about this. I've heard of the movie, and I've heard that it is funny. I had no idea it was connected to SNL at all. So I might even say it, and you guys are going to be like, that's not connected to SNL. Someone carioed your Wikipedia that you pulled this from.
What is it?
It is Please Don't Destroy the Treasure of Foggy Mountain.
Oh, well, you mentioned
yeah,
that they
it
do
is.
the.
You're right.
They do the.
It wasn't released in
skits.
theaters though, but yeah, it's a movie.
The little.
Yeah. They're the new
Yeah.
Andy Samberg, Bill Hader digital shorts.
Yes.
Kids. Yeah.
See, I didn't know that they were associated with SNL until you told me when I brought up that
Yeah.
movie last time, or a couple times ago. So yes, I have seen it.
That's it. I mean,
Well, I got It's Pat.
you guys
I haven't
It's really
seen.
good.
I
You
have
guys did
seen
great.
all of those movies except Stuart Saves His Family.
Yeah, I've seen Blues Brothers, Wayne's World, Coneheads, Wayne's World 2, and then apparently I stopped watching SNL movies because I haven't seen It's Pat, Stuart Saves His Family, Blues Brothers 2000. I did see A Night at the Roxbury, and I was like, man, I made the right call stopping watching these movies because I thought Roxbury fucking
It was not. It
I never
wasn't
saw
good.
that. I did see the Ladies' Man. I liked the Ladies' Man.
I love the Night at the Roxbury sketches.
Yeah, 'cause
those
it
were
works as a
fucking
sketch.
great, but not as an hour
as
and a
a
half
full
long
movie.
movie.
God, I wish I had Brennan in middle school doing the morning announcements. Like they did not the Roxbury thing with Brandon, where he was doing that. Fuck, I'd love to have that footage now and put it on YouTube.
I mean, they made that song iconic. I can't hear "What Is Love" without thinking about them,
Yeah. Oh, yeah, totally.
and it worked in that way. But the movie was not great. And I originally I was thinking maybe I got confused and was thinking like Tommy Boy, Black Sheep. But those weren't Saturday Night Live sketches; they were just Saturday Night Live alums.
Chris Farley's got a good cameo in Wayne's
He
World,
does.
though.
This is his first time ever in a movie. It's his first appearance in a movie.
He's in Coneheads as well, but does come out after Wayne's World.
Yeah, he. I love that scene too. She's like, "Don't you think that it was weird that security guard had so much information?"
Yeah. I love when they start doing that in the movie and start breaking the fourth wall and because I mean it really makes
Then
it.
later, because they're like, that information seemed extraneous at the time.
Right? Yes.
It's good shit.
Yeah. A great movie.
I loved it. I was really glad to watch it again. I watched the last half of it while I was walking on a treadmill.
Nice.
And it helped make the last mile of my treadmill walk go a lot faster because I was having a good time watching it. And I love Rob Lowe to death, and
Cream of Some Young Guy went over my head so hard as a kid.
Did it really?
Did not get
I bet it did. I'll have the cream. Dude, the fucking
Is that right?
scene.
Sounds pretty good. I don't know.
The
Charles doesn't
fucking
have that, but whatever.
scene where he's talking to her in Cantonese. And he says that one phrase, and then the subtitles keep going, and he's just looking at the camera and looking at his watch, and then waiting for all the words to come. That had me rolling, and I was laughing so hard at that. And it wasn't a surprise. I've seen it 100 times, but it just hit. Those moments just hit perfectly, and either you get it or you don't know, or you don't, and it's just I don't know. I thought that was really fucking funny.
I forgot that Meatloaf was in the movie.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, Meatloaf.
Well, he'll do anything for love.
The Shitty Beatles.
Just won't do
Shitty
that.
Beatles. Yeah.
Shitty Beatles.
Are they any good? They suck. It's not just a clever name.
Just a clever name.
That Gasworks sign was really good, though.
I agree. Stood out, right? Yes. I agree.
Stands out in the game too.
Also, as like a man in his early 40s, I was like, I wonder how that passes fire code.
Right.
How much does that cost? How dangerous is that?
Yeah, how much does it cost to run that for an hour?
I
Surely
was,
only run it at night.
Right.
Basically run it in the day.
Ridiculous.
my thing was, oh man, he has to take his car in annually to get inspected.
Yeah.
Just things like that stood out to me too. That I wasn't a quote unquote adult when this movie came out, but a lot of that shit went over my head. It it was neat. It was neat to rewatch it after all this time and watch it from beginning to end. You know, I've seen bits and pieces of it here and there, whatever, but watching it from beginning to end was a lot of fun. I'm glad we did that.
Me too. And I'm not sure how I feel about reporting this, but I definitely as a kid, I didn't identify with this person, but now it's like, you know what, Russell, I get him. He's at the fucking club and eating chips out of the palm of his hand. That was so fucking funny. A thing that I didn't notice as a kid at all.
Yeah.
But as an adult, he's like surrounded by. It doesn't help that he's like really tall. You know, like he's so out of place at the club because everyone's so much younger than him and shorter than him, and he's in this like fucking tracksuit. Pastel colored tracksuit, eating chips out of the palm of his hand. And he's friendly too. That's what, I like Russell a lot.
Yeah.
No. He's gonna be all right. Just the way when Garth unscrews that flashlight.
I know.
Drops it. So how could you have translated this movie to a video game?
Okay.
Because I would argue the way they did it does not work.
I have an idea. It sounds like Ian, you might as well.
I do too.
What's your idea?
Well, no, you go first.
I think this wouldn't have sold well at all, but I think it would have made a good video game, and that is if this were a Zork-like text adventure where you're in Aurora and you're playing as anyone. You could be anyone, and you just explore and interact with the characters. Like you have dialogue and stuff, because I feel like the strength of the movie is the dialogue. And I think the developers of this video game for the SNES realized that. And then they tried to do it as well, and it didn't do.
I immediately thought how I was going to hate this game. And I wasn't very good at playing it, and it has plenty of technical issues that are glaringly bad. But I tried to look at this from an outside perspective, and I like how in the fact that this game was unapologetic in what its purpose was, and it was to promote the movie. And I think, honestly, this game had a lot of qualities that were lacking in so many of the other games that we've played that I couldn't dislike it because it was stupid and silly and funny, and it was the perfect Wayne's World game, promotional material game. It had actual voices, actual sounds from the movie, actual scenes from the movie.
Extreme close-ups.
They were badly animated, but that's what they had to work with.
Yeah.
The fact that the jokes that they were cracking were kind of funny, and it was just kind of like it was as Wayne's World as a game could possibly get. I love the fact that it's just a little sprite with a giant Mike Myers head on it. And that he would look at the camera and like
unsettling.
It was
Uncanny Valley unsettling.
It's like I could see that being like the main antagonist in like a indie horror game that Gen Alpha talks about. You know what I mean?
A skibbity toilet, but it's Wayne.
Right. Yeah.
I thought
I've got to make this a real game, because I was watching the playthroughs. It's like, how would this have translated well? And the only idea I could come up with that would work, that I would have liked to have seen, with like Wayne falls asleep interviewing Noah during the Noah's Arcade segment, and during his goes into various arcade games and has to play through them as Wayne.
okay.
So it's just him going through
Like Virtual Bart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's going through all the machines in Noah's Arcade. And then that's the only way I can see Wayne in a video game.
I thought it was kind of clever, the fact that they were like, okay, first of all, I feel like after having watched this game, the playthrough of this game, and watched this movie, I realized that TADPOG is the Wayne's World of the podcast space. And that's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
But they ironically did a top 10 game list of games that we played at worst games we played at Noah's Arcade. And the number one game was the Xantar game. That's a big gelatinous cube that sucks up soldiers or whatever. And that's the game that Wayne had the nightmare about, and the fact that they did all this like tying in of the movie and the actual shit from the movie, frankly, was more about the movie than most of the fucking games we've played that are about movies up to this point.
Yeah.
I'm not saying they did it in a good way. I'm saying at least they did it.
Yes, but I agree. Like I like how the game opens up, because the game opens up with a cutscene that's not done well. I get the limitations.
Right.
Of
The
it.
way Garth like looks up and it's like a different head on the shoulder.
Right, it's like a clean cut of his head. Like it's just like, that's good, right? Sure.
Can you tell? Mm-mm.
That stood out to me too. I thought that was hilarious. But I mean, I like that it opened with it being the show. They opened it like it's an episode of Wayne's World, and I thought it looked really bad, but I could tell that they were trying, and I thought it sounded bad, but again, I could tell that they were
crammed
trying.
a whole bunch into this little
They-
cartridge.
Bohemian Rhapsody on
The whole
it.
The
Bohemian
actual
Rhapsody.
song, the actual
Ish.
music.
I mean, it's a MIDI, but
It was enough to.
but it was
It was the
recognizable.
melody.
recognizable.
Yeah.
It was definitely recognizable. It wasn't a knockoff
I had
Bohemian Rhapsody.
Hell, they didn't even do the scene where after the second level, he does the Grey Poupon thing, but he's like, he
It just
pulls
shows
up
a picture of a guy. Because it's just a
and he
guy in a
goes,
car.
and he goes, "Pardon me, do you have any mustard?"
Right?
Like, that's not the joke. But
we couldn't pay for Grey Poupon, so it just says
we
mustard.
did manage to get away with a pretty close rendition of Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah,
we couldn't do
it's
both.
And the
song.
first
but we couldn't
3
do
notes
Grey
of
Poupon.
Foxy Lady in the donuts shop level. Over and over and over again.
Is dare 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 dare
That
dare.
and the do you have any mustard? It dude, it reeked of like, well, we know what we want to do.
We just can't.
We can't do it, but we're gonna do
We're gonna
it
do it
anyway.
anyway.
I can see the good of that and the bad of that.
Yes.
We're all about coulda, not shoulda.
Right.
Now, don't get me wrong when I say this game sucked, but I loved that it sucked. I loved how much it sucked because I think it was an excellent way of sort of they made up for how bad it sucked by acknowledging the fact that it sucked, like in the fucking game.
I do wish I would
Action
have.
platformer where you have the electric guitar sending out sound waves as your weapon.
I liked that
in
weapon.
one direction, left and right, and you jump. That's it.
I would have
You
given
get
this game.
power-ups.
I'd bump this game a whole grade up if on that top 10 list of worst video games at Noah's Arcade, if Wayne's World for the Super Nintendo were on that list. Because then I'd be like, they're self-aware. This is fine.
They're self-aware because they're showing the game that is the game. The game that they're playing is the game that they said was the worst.
Well, but I want them to be self-aware that the game that they developed is not a good video game. That's the self-awareness that I want. I know that they were like, that video game's in the movie, so we're going to tie it into the game. Which is, I mean, that's fine. I'm glad that they like
at least
watched the movie.
at least they paid attention
Right.
and watched the fucking movie.
And they're like,
first,
well,
yes.
we could tie this into a video game this way. There's an arcade game in the movie.
Yeah.
Did the Journey arcade game do this head thing with the members of Journey?
Yeah, I think there's a segment
It's
where
kinda
they're
similar.
Where like where it's like
Black and white cuts of their head on little bodies, little animated bodies.
it looks like the way Wayne looks in the Super Nintendo game is akin to like how Saddam Hussein looks in
South Park. Yeah.
Like I couldn't look at that sprite and be like, man, that's fucking like Trey and Matt were like, how should we do Saddam Hussein? Like they did Wayne in
like
Wayne's
that.
World.
Remember the Wayne's World game? Yeah. I thought I found myself ridiculously entertained by how bad this game was.
It's super bad.
It is super bad, and that's why I don't hate it, though, because it's just so bad. It's good.
The first
It's
level
like
reminded
ironically
me of playing
bad.
Gem Powers. Like it was just a weird mess where you can't tell where anything is, where anything's going on. It all kind of blends in, and you're just trying to jump around and make shit happen.
Could we classify Wayne's World for the SNES as an adver game, considering that they literally are plugging the movie?
They literally have an ad break.
They say now I'm gonna another scene from our upcoming movie, and they literally say we're gonna plug our movie.
Right.
So I'm wondering, could this be considered an adver game?
Yeah, I'd say.
And does that buy it a little bit more forgiveness since it was so obviously an advertisement for the movie?
I'd say.
Is any movie game also an adver game?
Yeah. Well, it depends because I feel like when did this game come out? The same year as the movie, right?
Came out a year later in 1990.
Is
later.
Dirty Harry an adver game for?
Well, it's so far
In
after
a way,
the fact.
I watched it because the video game exists.
Damn it!
It got us.
Big Harry.
I'm still waiting for Dirty Harry Jr., but I don't think we're gonna get it. You're right, Tyler. I do see that makes
Because
that tracks.
I see the argument for it because it is sort of promoting the movie.
I think the reason I'm asking the question is because they literally promote the movie like to the player.
They do, but I think it's insane to think that someone picked up this game not knowing
what Wayne's World is. Yeah, because it was huge.
It's like that's putting the cart before the horse.
really is.
I
You're not
can't
wrong.
imagine a child being like, "Man, this game fucking rules." There's a movie.
If only. Oh, I've got good news for you,
Was
little
this like
Tommy.
Herman's Head, but Wayne's World?
God,
Okay.
if only, man. I would love a fucking Herman's Head, like Hades clone. I'd buy that in a fucking heartbeat. You know what? You released a Herman's Head game in 2024.
Herman's Head
I'm buying
crawled, or Herman's Head walked, so Inside Out could run.
it. I haven't seen Inside Out.
It's pretty good.
Is
It's
it
pretty
better
good.
than Herman's Head?
Of course not.
Nancy Cartwright? Does she voice one of the emotions?
No, but
What's
she
it-
should have, though. Well, no, she's a weird Scientology girl, so I don't know.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
The woman, it's the woman from Saturday Night Live.
Amy Poehler
Amy
is the main
Poehler.
character.
is the
Oh,
main-
okay.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
saw that one. I saw
right.
that one.
Amy Poehler, what's the guy, the angry guy from The Daily Show? Louis Black. Louis Black is
Oh yeah.
anger.
Mhm.
Little on the nose, but okay.
Yeah. What's her name? Office and Velma. Mindy Kaling. Mindy Kaling is
Yeah.
disgust.
Also a little on the nose. Love her, but
Yeah.
Velma, no. Sorry.
Her book was really good.
I liked her
Was
book.
it?
Yeah.
I have to check that out.
But you get power ups for, the electric guitar.
So you make your sound waves bigger and more powerful.
Bigger, faster, they move.
Because, I picked them up, and it's like, in the first level, it's in Kramer's music store, and it's like the first enemy you run into are like Spider-Man bagpipes that are like floating in the air. And I say they're Spider-Man bagpipes because they're bagpipes made out of like Spider-Man's costume. Is
Yeah.
what they
Yeah.
look like to me. And they like
Projectiles that are super hard to see.
yeah, they're hard to see, and it's like so. It's the first enemy, right? So I strum my guitar at it, and it doesn't kill it. And it's like okay, and I do it again, and it takes 2 hits, and it's like okay, I guess this thing takes 2 hits to kill. And then I progress through the level, and I pick up power ups and upgrade my guitar, and it's like finally, fuck you, bagpipes. Nope, still takes 2 hits, even though my
Yeah.
sonic blast is
It's like the size of the whole space.
So I was like, what's the point of the
Yeah.
power-ups? And I was like, I'm just not going to fight these guys.
There's different versions
That's
of the
pretty much
weapon
the
where
way
you
you have
like
to do
can
it.
you drop like sound. It's not like it doesn't shoot forward. It's almost like it dumps little sound things or whatever, and you can get enemies below you that way.
Okay.
It was kind of interesting.
I wasn't able to get any of
The
that.
thumbs up or
I
your
watched
health.
it.
Yeah.
course, you have a
They're
swing.
worthy.
Swing, which is your
They're what?
screen clear.
The thumbs up are called worthies.
Okay. Because
Yeah.
when you die, you say, not worthy.
Yeah,
not
which is a
worthy."
really fucking bad cut because they take "We're Not Worthy" from the movie.
Not
And
worthy.
they make
Not
the fucking decision
worthy.
to cut "We're" out because it's like it wouldn't make sense if he says "We're not worthy."
Because Garth's not with him. So
But you can hear him though. Shut up. It's so like
I get that pain trying to like do audio tracks and Scott Pilgrim and Miller's in the background of everybody saying something.
yeah, but we're a podcast.
Yeah.
And this was a
We have
video
the
game
same
development
production
company.
value as Wayne's World.
That's fair. I'd say we have better production
Yeah.
quality than the Wayne's World video game.
Sweet. Better than gray matter.
Yep.
But yeah, I never.
We should call the show "At Least We're Better Than Gray Matter."
Who was the first boss of this game of the first level?
Some robotic ostrich with a brain in his butt is who I
thought it
saw.
was. I thought it was a guitar. It looked like a guitar with a demon head on the neck that could move up and down. I don't know.
Man, I didn't know what the fuck it was, but it was like, whoa! How did they decide to put this in the game?
1992 AI
Yeah.
generate a boss for Wayne's World.
Yeah,
The second level in the donut shop is kind of the same stuff, only donut themed.
I love the
enemies, cups of
donut
coffee.
boss because the
But a
donut
weird,
boss
runny donut.
vomits weird runny donutness on you, and like when you know he's at half health because he turns into half a donut, which I thought was kind of
that's
neat.
nice.
And his
I did not make it this
He has a donut tail.
Neither did I couldn't
This
beat- I
is
couldn't
on the
beat-
long play. It's the only, and this is as far as I even got on the long play. I couldn't.
Oh, the boss of the gasworks is the best. The best. It's
Who is-
Elvis.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I forgot. I did see that.
Like from Clay Fighter.
It kind of
what I
looks
was
like.
expecting.
It kind of looks like the
It's
Elvis
a weird
from Clay
why,
Fighter.
like it's really bad.
And it's also random. It doesn't make sense that it's there. Is there something about an Elvis impersonator in the movie that I'm not thinking of?
I don't think so.
I don't either. So yeah, that didn't make any sense, I guess. But whatever.
But they are. So what's weird about it is, Tyler, what you said earlier about like you think it would be better if they were in different video games.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it's supposed to be. And it does
just
not.
didn't work.
It does not. And it doesn't make sense. It's like, why is your local music store a video game in Noah's Arcade? Like, you guys make video games, Gray Matter. You like know that. You know how arcades work, right?
Right.
It's not like
It's not
arcade
lo-
owners like, I'm going to make this arcade game. It's
No,
based
it's-
on my hometown donut shop.
I went
It's
to Shoney's.
artisanal,
That's a level.
handcrafted video games. We craft our video games to be relevant to the people that live in the town where it's located.
I mean, that'd be pretty sweet. I'm not going to lie. That'd be great to own
But
a
also
Chong's
impossible.
arcade cabinet.
It's like the Gremlins guy from Key and Peele. It's like, what level do you want in the Wayne's World video game?
Right? I'm imagining the Chong's arcade game to be like, it's kind of like Tapper, you know, where you got to fill the mugs,
Yes.
but instead you're pulling cigarette butts out of fried rice.
Yes. And outside in the background is washing with their coming soon
Coming
sign.
The interstitials between each stage is just the washing sign that says coming soon. And the season changes in the background, like Mega Man and Mega Man 2 walking at the end.
And the development company continues to promise a sequel to the Chong's video game called Washing, but it never comes out.
Damn, this artisanal arcade shit's pretty sweet.
I know.
Big fan. But yeah, these are all supposed to be, Wayne's supposed to be traveling through video games until he gets to the game that has the gelatinous cube, Xantar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Garth is trapped in.
I did see that. I went to long play because I was like, homie, did they really put the gelatinous cube in this video game? They do. He's the final boss. And I was happy to see that because Garth is trapped inside of him. And, but I mean, that's it. It was just kind of, just kind of like, wow, they did it. And then it's like, all right, okay.
Still not great. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
That
it's pretty bad. There's not a
there's
whole lot
not a
more to
whole lot
say.
more
I mean,
to
it's
say.
pretty.
Yeah.
I'd have to drag out the dead horse and beat it because the Wayne sprite is fucking huge.
They
Sure,
are
big sprite.
huge.
Yeah. It's slippery. I was missing platforms and falling into electrical arcs all the fucking time. Your frame of invincibility is very short, so you're just getting hit one after the other till you're dead.
When you jump, the sprite is so big and the different platforms are so close together.
Yep.
And you can jump through them. And when you do, if there's an enemy above you, you hit it, you take damage.
And whenever you jump and try to hit your guitar beams,
does his
instead does
arm.
a wind up.
Yeah,
it's
and
fucked
it
up.
never
Yeah.
you can't do it in a way that like fires at the apex of the jump. It always takes just a little too long.
Yep.
And then the beam goes under the thing you're trying to hit. So I think that's why they give you so many screen clears. When I was watching the long play, the guy that was doing it, the person I should say that was doing it, does a screen clear knowing,
Swing swonging all over the place.
yeah, he knows that I'm not going to get through this without taking damage, so I'm going to clear the screen. It was very well done. In
I
that
noticed
regard.
that in that as well, that they would time the swings to avoid taking damage because I noticed that they would hit it and it'd be like, oh, okay, that clarinet was about to hit him, and then he swinged it, and then he didn't take any damage.
That
from
was
it.
an effect. One of the good things is that the screen clear was effective to clear off enemies even off screen.
Oh, that's-
And if
yeah,
they were
that's nice.
close enough. There's probably that frame that you don't see, but is still active because you could kill enemies that were just off screen as well, and that was good. That the screen clear would take care of them. So.
Yeah.
He kept the screen clear a lot that way. So that was okay. But the controls were about what you'd expect.
I thought they were bad.
Level design was terrible and confusing and noisy and busy and hard to see like what you could and couldn't
Anything.
do.
Yeah.
Weird choices too, because it's like when Wayne runs into a wall, the way his body animates, it's bizarre.
Yeah,
I don't know
it really
why.
is.
I don't know why the amount of detail was put into like, okay, Quap didn't exist, obviously, but that's what it reminds me of. It's like, okay, when Wayne hits a wall, he needs to quap a little bit.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, all right, you could make the game better. Like, you're focusing on weird shit.
Fix that. Don't do that. Just do something else in the game that needs help.
I thought it was not great. You only play as Wayne. I get it. Garth is inside the gelatinous cube.
You play as Garth in the NES version.
Shit. I played the wrong one, I think.
It definitely. I watched a playthrough of the NES one, and it's weird and very bare bones, but it's there. It reminds me more of the Journey arcade game.
Yeah.
Because it's them jumping through all these instruments, and they have guns.
Are they
It's
big
a-
head mode in the NES version as
They
well?
look like
No.
regular, like almost like weird white outlines of Wayne and Garth. It's really it's strange looking.
Some things just better left not done.
Yeah.
I guess.
But then people don't make money.
Right.
I will say that, you were talking about, how the game, they do a good job of trying to capture the feel of the Wayne's World show. And I was dunking on a bunch of shit. However, there is, when they do the
Yeah.
when that effect looked
It looked
great.
really
I was
good.
surprised.
It
I was
looked
like,
really
holy
good.
shit, they nailed it
Yeah.
on the
Makes
Super
sense on
Nintendo.
it. Yeah, it's yes.
Now, when
That's
Mike
what-
Myers does it, not so much because it looks like he's voguing. 'Cause he puts his hands up on either side of his face. but
Boy, and they do the extreme close-up thing,
I know.
and it just gets that's
it's
bad.
mode 7. Maybe the best use of
Yeah.
mode 7, though.
I will say actually that's one thing I had on my neat good things list. The mode 7 darts.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
in the gasworks. One of the obstacles is darts being thrown
From the camera?
from the camera angle into the dartboard, and to see that done on such a tiny little perspective. That was neat. I don't know that I've ever seen like mode 7 obstacles before. And if
Not like in a side-scrolling game, like
Right.
that. I mean,
It
like
was-
coming from the camera.
yeah, it was neat that they isolated those frames and made the darts be mode 7. They looked like darts and they looked like perspective, and I thought that was kind of cool.
It was neat. Yeah, I saw a little bit of that. I didn't get to experience it. It's in the demo mode of the game, which is hilarious because it's like that attract mode felt like they were like, this has to ship now. And like a guy is just like, brum, 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 and like plays the guitar 3 times and like walks a little bit. It's like, okay, it's fine. Ship it. It's horrible. It's like the journalist playing Cuphead. It's like,
You get through the tutorial. Fuck it. All right, this is awful.
yeah.
You guys have any achievements?
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry. Well, buy, rent, or birthday. Wayne's
is a
World.
rent.
buy,
It's a
or
rent
birthday.
for me.
Yeah, I
I
think.
did rent this at Movie Hut and was very sad
Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, at least you didn't buy it
because I
Okay,
loved
for
the
your
movie so
birthday.
much. When I saw this, I was like, oh man.
Yeah.
This should probably only be a rental. I mean, put it next to the movie at Blockbuster and people will rent it, and it'll be a neat one-time experience and be like, oh, I see what they did there, and then you move on. Owning this game would be a disappointment for sure.
See, top 100, bottom 100.
I didn't like it. I thought it sucked, but it had redeeming qualities. It's definitely not on the bottom 100 for me, but it's in the bottom half, I think.
Yeah, it's in the bottom half for me as well.
It had its charm, even though a lot of that charm is like what you were talking about with like Garth's PNG head overlaid on top of his body, and you got that hard line where those 2 image files meet. It's janky as fuck, but in a weird way, it's fucking charming. And it's like, okay, I'll remember that for a while.
Right.
So I'd put it in my bottom 100 to 150.
Yeah.
Like it's way down there. It's by far not the worst, but it's far down there.
It's a bad video game, I
Yeah.
think it's
Truly.
fair to say.
Yep.
It's not a fun experience. I had fun watching the long play.
Yeah.
Because I got to see all the little things that they put in that refer to the movie. But playing the game, I didn't play the game for longer than 15 minutes, and I just gave
Oh
up.
man, when I was playing it, it was like I was playing it and playing it and playing it and playing it. I was like, God, how fucking long is this
They're
first
long.
level? How long is this level? There are 4 levels in this video game.
Yes.
That's fucking crazy. And the long play is like, what, an hour?
It's like an hour and 12 minutes.
To complete
It's
4 levels?
4
And
levels.
one of those levels is like a mini level.
Uh-huh.
It's like,
They're too big. The levels are too big. It just goes towards that bad level design thing.
yeah, so big they be crying.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was like I was playing it. It's like, fuck, man, I have got to have been playing this for an hour, right? Nope, 20 minutes. And it was like, God, that's a bad sign.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you guys have any achievements?
I have a few.
What you got?
My first achievement is we have a piper down. We have a piper down. And to earn this achievement, you kill 10 of the bagpipes in the first level in the music store. That is a quote from
Nice.
So I
Nice.
Married an Axe
Yeah.
Murderer. For those of you that don't know.
Dude.
My
I did.
it's like Sputnik. My second achievement is you're in the style of the dweeb, aka you have
Oh my
simulated
God.
dweeb look.
This is where, like, I swear, dude, they were like, developers were like, we're comedy writers, right?
Yeah, we could do this. These are the things that when they go, they insult each other, calling each other dweebs, and it goes on
a long time.
for a
And, dude,
long time.
Those cutscenes were fucking ridiculous because,
Yeah.
like, there would be so much text to read, and it would be on the screen for like a second.
Yeah, not
and
even
then there would be a
close to long
response where it was
enough.
like not, and that would be on the screen for like 8 seconds.
Yeah, it's like,
what the
they had a yeah, it was bad, but to earn you're in the style of dweeb, aka you have simulated dweeb look. Beat level 1, the music
Oh
store.
my God, I'm so glad you included that in the achievement title. Fuck, man.
My next achievement is, excuse me, do you have any mustard? And that's simply beat level 2. My next achievement is Aurora Rock City. And to get Aurora Rock City, you defeat the floating Gene Simmons head in the bottom of the Gasworks bar level. There's this floating head near the end of the Gasworks level that is obviously Gene Simmons in his full kiss makeup with like a long flame ball tongue. It almost looks like the little flame things in Mario. It's weird, but you get that achievement by beating that. And then my last achievement is So I Married a Guitar Murderer. And to get So I Married a Guitar Murderer, you beat the game. Because you've murdered everything with your guitar up to this point.
AKA an axe.
See, you picked up on what I was laying down.
Yeah.
That's
the joke.
See, that's the joke. I was trying to make sure that this wasn't one of the best jokes that you have to explain.
I loved it.
Thank you.
Dave, you got any?
I do. My first achievement is sometimes I wish I could boldly go where no man has gone before. In order to unlock, sometimes I wish I could boldly go where no man has gone before. Never finish level 1.
I got that.
Next achievement, me too. Girl, same. Next achievement. And you know what the worst part is? I never learned to read.
God, I love that.
In order to
During the Oscar clip.
I never learned to read. Skip all of the cutscenes. And the next achievement is I'm having a good time. Not. Right? Like they say in the movie?
Like they say in the movie.
In order to unlock that, you start playing Wayne's World for the SNES.
Nice.
That's it.
Mine are kind of similar to Ian's. My first one is, if it's not Scottish, it's crap. You unlock that by dying to a bagpipe. And then Sparkster. You unlock Sparkster when you bounce off a drum into something and die. And the last one being, you came to him to die. And as you die to the donut boss in level 2.
All right.
What do you think Flopsy has to say about Wayne's World for the SNES? I can play because I don't have it pulled up yet.
They're going to give it too much love.
Whew, I don't know, man. I mean, probably, as is the style of Flopsy, but
2.5 stars, uncommon.
Okay. What do you think, Tyler?
Seeing as I have seen this and I rented it, I will say 2 stars common.
My answer is exactly the same as yours. I think 2 stars common. According to the Ultimate Nintendo Guide to the SNES Library 1991 through 1998 by Pat Contry, courtesy of Monster Mold Mike and a shadowy, mysterious benefactor. Give me a moment. I'll find it. Wayne Gretzky in the NHLPA All-Stars? Is that what we're talking about?
Eventually.
We do Wayne games?
Shit.
No Blues Brothers. It's Wayne games
Wayne
time.
games.
There are only 2 Wayne games. Wayne's World.
Excellent.
Party time.
Excellent.
Beetle-doo, beetle-boo, deedle-boo. This is, I think, maybe the lowest score that I've seen in Flopsy.
Oh.
1.5 stars.
Wow.
We might have had another 1.5 stars at some point, but that is rare. What is not rare is the game. Availability is common.
Okay.
Way to go, Flopsy.
I'm going to pass this to Ian.
Thank you.
The drawing of pubic hair that he made on classic Tadpog episode 685. I don't know. How about you tell me, Dane?
I autographed it.
I know. Yeah, I need that back.
You need that back.
It's special to me.
It's going to be worth something someday.
Yes. How much do you guys think Wayne's World for the SNES would run you if you were to buy it loose?
$12.95.
$12.95 from Ian.
$8.68.
$8.68 from Tyler. Actual retail value of Wayne's World for the Super Nintendo, loose on average, at the time of this recording, according to PriceCharting.com, is, I'm sick, I got all fucked up, $12.66.
Oh.
That is a real fucking close.
Damn.
Real fucking close. A little too close.
I didn't look it up.
Too rough.
I didn't look it up. I'm just getting better, I guess.
Is it worth it?
For a collector, sure.
I'd
not
buy-
bad for a collection.
I'd buy this for $12. Not shipping. I'm not paying shipping, but $12. Yeah, I'd buy it.
It's worth it. I spent more on dinner tonight, and it's already gone.
Much like
From
Wayne's
Wayne's
World,
World.
you only rent dinner.
Yes, you really do. Only rent dinner.
For funsies, because it's ridiculous, how much do you think this game costs for the Game Boy?
$50.
$50.
I bet it's way more rare for the Game Boy.
37.
$105.24 loose for
Wow.
Wayne's World on the Game Boy.
Was it a better game?
I have no idea. I thought about playing it, but then I was like, I know better than that. You know, I imagine it's probably a rarity thing. Is my guess. I don't know. But talking about the Game Boy like reminds me that like Wayne's World on the SNES is the most Game Gear game that I have played on the SNES.
Yeah, I get that.
It had those kinds of
It
vibes.
did have that Game Gear vibe. You're absolutely right.
Especially with Wayne's big fucking bobblehead and
Yeah.
shit. Yeah. So next episode, Blues Brothers or the
Blues
Wayne
Brothers.
Gretzky?
Two Blues Brothers.
Blues Brothers.
Brothers.
Cool. Tyler,
Yes, Dave.
if you were to give this game a beard, it sums up how you feel about it. What kind of beard would you give it?
I would give it the putrid, gross, bubbly skin of Wayne in Stay Tuned.
Okay. Yes.
Whenever it's the horror version
I love
in
Stay
Stay
Tuned.
Tuned.
Man. I need to rewatch Stay Tuned. If only they had a Stay Tuned video game.
I've seen that recently.
Really?
It holds up.
Is that on HBO Max?
Maybe. I don't
It
know.
might sway me.
It might be. Probably. I can look if you'd like.
That's okay. I don't need any more temptation. Tyler,
Yes, Dave.
if you were to give this game a pair of glasses, that sums up how you feel about it. What kind
The
of glasses?
glasses of putrid Garth Algar from Stay Tuned.
Okay. All right. Excellent.
Party
Party
time.
time.
I don't know why I fell for that.
I'd say that's a good length.
So she
So
said.
she said.
Swing.
So thanks for listening, everybody. Find the show on iTunes, not SoundCloud, not Stitcher, but it's on Spotify, all that other shit. It's all over the
SoundCloud.
place.
Not
Not.
like the
on-
movie.
Cable Public Access Channel 11 in Aurora, Illinois.
There's all that shit, but most importantly is Patreon.
Yeah, I need to
damn.
run
Should do
another.
an Opera Man movie.
I need to run another audit. I meant to do that today, but you know, the
if-
wolves of the call.
I'm gonna read our
endorse this.
donors, our executive producer list. And if your name is on here, but you're not still donating $20 or more, you need to let us know and quit taking credit for something you're not fucking doing. It's your money, and you can do with it what you want, but don't keep taking credit for being an executive producer when you're clearly not.
You've listened to this podcast long enough
You
to
know
that you need to do the work for us.
you need to do the work for us.
Come on.
Stop taking credit. But we are going to assume that the following list of donors that are $20 or more at patreon.com/tadpog or pisstasters.com or pisstasters.com.
Taste the piss.
Thank you, Tyler.
Taste the piss. Sorry, I got browsing porn here.
Yeah,
again.
we're all busy. We're all busy today, aren't we? These names are as follows: Blinko Nick Price, Cubicle Monkey, Cthusiast Jeff Miners, Joseph Phillips, Gamebug Prime Nathan Eaton, Matt Gentile, aka Gentle G, Louisville correspondent Princess Consuela Banana Hammock, Flavor Trick, Taryn Dahl, congratulations on your marriage. Pinball Airplane Archmage Chris Edler, we're sorry you couldn't be on this episode. Sandwich Pope Phil Hawkins, Drinksmith Joey Webster, and Derek Pope Sandwich. Thank you all so much for your kind and generous donations. And thanks to all of our donors. We had an up, and I can't remember. I did not write down who that was.
I think it was Bubba Shane.
Okay.
I think I'm going to check right now, but I'm pretty sure it was. If it wasn't, I'm sure he's good for it.
Yeah, we do hold you responsible for that now.
Publicly announced it,
So you kind of have to do it. Don't be like those people that are not donating $20 or more and are still taking credit for being executive producers.
It was Bubba Shane.
Bubba Shane, thank you. Big ups.
Yep, thank you.
So thank you for that. And then, as always, thanks to Dane, our backlog banisher, Mr. Puzzles, for putting our show up on YouTube every week. And good day to you.
Our theme song is Moves by Sycamore Drive. Link to that track from the shows at headbar.com. How you guys want to close it out?
In the style of the opening of Wayne's World.
Okay.
So until next time.
Tropical Capricorn! Party time! Excellent! That was super well coordinated.
Uh-huh.
Quartet.
Thank you for
us.
sharing Kef with me tonight.
Us. TADPOG is hosted and produced by Tyler Holland, Dave Moore, and Ian Chandler, and is available wherever fine podcasts are hosted. Have a question or comment for the hosts? Call us at 270-883-2555 and leave us a voicemail. We'll even play it on the show and respond eventually. Want to send us something? You can do that at TADPOG Studios, care of Nicole Nance, P.O. Box 3785, Paducah, Kentucky 42002. Sick of us doing all the talking? You can join in on the conversation by visiting our Discord at bit.ly/TADPOG Discord or tastethepiss.com. Not many things are truly free these days, but our Discord is, and we'd love to see you there. Our theme song is Moves by Sycamore Drive, and a link to that track can be found at the show notes at tadpog.com. Thanks for listening, and if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe to our show on your favorite podcasting platform. We'd really appreciate it. I was going to talk about this at the beginning of the show, and I forgot, and then I thought, well, maybe it would be a fun little thing. I'm continuing the theme of me having a bit of a weird week. First and foremost, Tanya and I went out to eat dinner, and Dave, you reminded me of that when you said you guys went to Carbondale, and
Yeah. And we decided to eat for once.
Tanya and I decided last week that we were going to go have pizza at Pizza Inn, which we have. So this is the first time she and I have sat at a restaurant alone together since before COVID. Phew. So it was neat. We went out and had a little date night, this little pizza time, and sat and talked for an hour. It was fun. I had a great time. Pizza tower. But
I almost got you a stuffed pizza tower plushie. I was so fucking close, but I was like, he's gonna hate it, and it's too
you loved
expensive.
it. Hey,
My wife is here.
Hey, what's up?
it's 100 degrees in
We
here.
can turn this on.
Jack. Hey, buddy.
Hey, Jack.
Come here, Jack.
Come say hi. You've gotten so big.
Can you say Tadpog?
Yeah.
Good enough.
Yeah.
You can say, what does
That's-
Santa say? Ho, ho, ho.
Oh, yes.
You excited for Christmas? Yeah.
Santa gonna come treat you right. I know this. So, God, he's gotten so big. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh! I have a picture of him holding him when he was a little bitty baby. So anyway, last night, I was wrapping up. I was at the office. I was wrapping up, and Tanya messaged me. She says, "Hey, can you stop and get us some hamburgers?" And I was like, "Sure." And our go-to is just burgers. It's cheap. It's good. It's close to the house. Checks all the boxes.
Hell
Hell
yeah.
yeah. So I'm like, sure. I drive down to Just Burgers, which there is a picture of Just Hamburgers on the Discord somewhere that I posted a long time ago. If you want to see what Just Burgers looks like.
It's an old Wendy's.
It's an old Church's Fried Chicken as well. But
Which was first? Do you know?
Church's. It was not. I don't think it was a Wendy's. I think it was Church's, and then it was something, and then it was nothing for years, and then it was just hamburgers. But anyway, I digress. I was at a client site doing the server I was telling you about earlier, and they were farther downtown, so I was coming up just hamburgers from below 21st and just above 21st, and I'm coming up and I go to turn left into the Just Burgers parking lot, and as is sometimes the case, the cars are back up almost to the street through the drive-through.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just drive right through. Sometimes most of the time it's busy. Sometimes it's just back the fuck up.
And it doesn't
to the
take
road.
much to clog up.
It
That
really
tiny
doesn't.
ass drive-through.
It
And parking
really
lot.
doesn't.
Like, I mean, yeah.
So I get into the middle turn lane and turn on my signal to imply that I want to turn in here.
Yeah.
Someone coming from the other direction decides, nah, fuck you, and pulls up in front of him and blocks me. And now traffic is trying to get around him, almost hitting me. I say, fuck it. I work my way back out, go down to the McDonald's and park, call in my order, and then turn around and drive back to just hamburgers and then just park. But there's cars parked. There's a street that goes between just hamburgers and the place that's next to it. There's cars parked there. And so I pull into the parking lot and get into one of these side spaces that'll allow me to get back out, because it's so
Because you
busy.
can get trapped
You
in
can
some of the spaces.
definitely get trapped
Because
there.
the drive-through line wraps around it.
In front of the sidewalk by the door, there are several diagonal parking spaces, and that's most of the parking that they have. But when people are stupid enough, and I say this because you have to be pretty fucking stupid to park there.
Yeah.
Unless you've just
It's
never
your first
been
rodeo. If it's your first rodeo,
there, you get a pass. You're still fucked, but you get a pass. But if you're dumb enough,
Get a fuck pass.
you get a fuck pass.
Well,
If
it's
you're-
like people can't even let them out if they want to.
no, because they're boxed
Because
in.
they're boxed in, and then they can't back up because traffic is running on the street.
Yeah,
it's just
it's
you're fucked. To that
horrible,
spot, man.
It's
I'm
horrible.
Sorry. Yeah.
And so don't do it. But if you do, you deserve the fucking hassle that you get.
Enjoy your food.
So the guy, you might as well just sit in the
Yeah,
parking
and
lot
eat
and
it.
eat
Yeah.
it, and then try to hope that it's
Find your
cleared
happy
up.
place. Be a penguin. Slide down on your belly.
Get your girlfriend bringing you beers in a bikini. Hopefully, it's Tia Carrera in a bikini. Anyway.
That'd be okay.
I park in
There's
this
a tiny
one
person
of the
there.
side spots here, and I had just called it in, so I'm like, it's going to be 15 minutes, so I'm just going to wait. I'm sitting there in my car. The guy that pulled in front of me was one of these dumbasses that he pulled up into that first parking spot, and then I saw him come out of the store and get in his truck to try to get out, and he just backs up over the fucking sidewalk out onto Jackson
Holy
Street
shit.
into oncoming traffic to get out of
like
there.
immediately, like this is his immediate.
well, he's
or-
doing kind of the
going in.
right.
he's kind of Austin Powersing his way to the point of being able to do that, and then he just gunned it into traffic. I'm shocked that there wasn't an accident. So. And then there's another lady coming in from this. There's a side entrance to this parking lot too, which is like, y'all need to close off one of these entrances because it causes confusion. So we got this one lady trying to shoehorn her way in. This guy's being blocked. This guy's backing into traffic. And I'm just like, what the fuck? What in the actual fuck is going on? So I'm like, fuck, this is nuts. I wait.
Is there special?
10 minutes, I walk in and I look behind the counter, and there are 3 6-foot tall stacks of donut boxes. It's Red Zeppelin Day week. I didn't know
I
this.
didn't know that either.
And Red Zeppelin, in case for our listeners that don't know, there's a donut shop just down the road from just hamburgers called Red's Donuts. It's been around since like 1743, and they have a special once or
started.
twice a year where they make a double cheeseburger with a glazed donut as the bun.
I had it once. It was all right.
I've never had it. Not interested.
I'm not gonna get it again. It was
I
fine.
I don't like them.
It was
I don't
fine.
like them.
But-
We did a special at the hospital too. I don't like them.
People go fucking batshit crazy for this
yeah.
thing, and it's like that's kind of sad actually. This is the
It's a
one where
Luther,
people
man.
get backed up down Jackson Street at lunchtime, and the cops have to come and direct traffic, and It's just a nightmare. And I had no idea that it was Red Zeppelin week. So I went into the fucking restaurant to pick up my order, and I told Tanya, I texted her, I'm like,
week of Christmas.
I know,
too.
what a dumb idea. I told Tanya,
Hey, you out? Let's come fuck up this.
Yeah.
Come fuck up Jockey Street.
I messaged Tanya. I said, "Oh God, it's Red Zeppelin week. I'm gonna be a while because the lobby, it was packed. There was 15 people in there, and their lobby is as big as the space we're in right now.
Yeah,
you know. So anyway, I was sitting there texting with Tanya, patiently waiting on my food, and they start. I go up and I pay, and then I wait and I'm just texting, and they start calling people, and people are getting like bags and bags and bags of food, just huge bags of food. And they call these people, and there's this fucking lady sitting next to me that is just clearly had it. And she is so mad because people keep getting their food before she gets hers. And I just, So she gets up and goes up to the counter and says, I'm sorry, I've been here for 30 minutes. Why have I not gotten my food? And the guy was like, well, because you ordered lots of orders of waffle fries and they take longer to cook, and we can't cook as much of them at once. So it takes longer. Everyone else that's ordering is getting regular fries or stuff that we've got made ready. You know, sorry, it's just taking a little longer. This goes on. This goes on for another few minutes, and people keep getting cleared out, and she keeps not getting called. She goes back up to the fucking counter and is like, I shit you not, I want to speak to the manager. I was like, uh-oh. The guy with the Terrifier shirt behind the counter is like, she is going off, and the guy over here that's running the window is like, ma'am, you're yelling at a high schooler. She's like, well, I don't understand why everyone else got to get out before me. I have been waiting. And it's like, ma'am, we explained this to you. We're doing the best we can. It's the busiest day of the year for us. You know, everyone else is waiting patiently. I suggest you do the same. I've almost got your order ready. She's like, I'm never coming back here. And of course, that's like,
look around.
Oh God, everybody. Stop. She's yelling at everyone. I made a video. I've got a video of it.
I was going to ask.
I do have a video.
Your phone out.
Send it to Tanya, and I will post it if I remember after this airs. I'll let you guys see it tonight.
You will be reminded on Discord now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Someone remind me to post this, because I'm not going to post it before the video or the show airs. But so she finally gets her food, and she had a lot of fucking food. And it's like, I know you knew it was Red Zeppelin Day, lady, or else you wouldn't be ordering this much food. And you're pitching a fit at the worst possible time. Well, anyway, she gets her shit and leaves, and then like shortly after that, they call me. And so I just was, again, weird week for me. And I was feeling bold, and they gave me my food, and I said, at the top of my lungs, I was like, hey, y'all are doing a great job. Thank you. And every one of them was like, yeah. And it was fun. It was a fun moment. And I got all the guys at Just Hamburgers to cheer for me.
Nice.
So,
I thought you were going to say, dude, what took so long?
what is the holdup? I wasn't ordering a special.
I just need 20 orders of waffle fries.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's it.
In 3
see the
chicken
problem.
tenders. Is this possible?
Dude, I heard him say, somebody came in while I was paying. I heard them talking to one another, and someone came in from the back. One of the employees came in from the back and said, we've got chicken tenders again. And the guy at the fryer was like, oh, thank God.
I love that.
It was fun. And I will try to remember to post the video of the Just Hamburgers Karen, but I will show you guys that video right now.
Yeah.
Nice.
Bye.
Frog pussy.